Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and tonight we are opening up something that we've been opening up a lot of lately, but you guys seem to be enjoying it. I really like it too because these boxes are quite weighable, and we're going to do it a little differently tonight. So I hope that you guys can hear me. If you cannot, just spam out the chat, let me know. But what we originally offered was this base set booster box, and the way it was sold was unweighed. However, when we get to your pack, I'm gonna start off on the left side, and I'm gonna go straight down the left side. So like the 19th pack or whatever that would be purchased should be on the top right side and go all the way through the bottom. But that's the way we're gonna do it. And when I get to your pack, we're gonna weigh it out. And if the pack weight itself is showing as a heavy weight, then we will open that pack. And if it's not, it looks like it's gonna be light, we are just going to ship it sealed. That way you guys who bought the light packs, at least you guys are going to at least retain the sealed pack value of whatever that is. And if you decide you want to open it on your own, you're more than welcome to do that. Welcome, Bobby P. I see you just joined in at the Charmander level. That's awesome. Thank you. If you guys already don't know, a lot of times we get free gifted memberships here in the chat. Nobody ever feel obligated to do that, but it's so cool seeing you guys be generous towards each other. Once we sold through the base, I did offer out the fossil. I had said that I would if we sold through the base. This just went up yesterday, and we are definitely over halfway sold through on the fossil. Last I checked, there were like 15 or so packs left. And I had a lot of people still requesting base set. So I did pick up some packs from Dan, Catch 'em All Collectibles, and you can see on the back I actually put who they were from. Heavy base from Dan. There were 6 packs that I was able to pick up from him that were just the regular base unlimited. From what I know, from what he told me anyways, and from what I've heard, none of the base trio were pulled yet, so maybe they're still live. I mean, it really wouldn't matter. I mean, you can go a whole box without pulling any of the trio. We could pull all the same hollows that he pulled in the first 6 packs, but hopefully we'll pull something good out of these, but maybe it'll mean that we pull multiple, trios tonight. Who knows, right? We did do that. 2 videos we pulled. 2 videos ago we pulled. It was 2 Blastoise and a Charizard last 3 packs. That was pretty sweet. And all 3 of those cards were graded, and I actually have the grades in hand. If Eric ends up being here in chat and he wants to let us know in the chat, I can actually show you guys the grades that he got for that one in the stain era. That one I got the grade back for too. So if you guys wanted to see the grade there, we could do that. But anyways, that's what we're going to be opening up tonight. We're also going to be opening up some triple beat. There were a few other small things that snuck in there for some regulars that I have no problem opening up for them. But we're going to start off with this base set. I believe the very first order is, let's see, who do we have? Yeah, it looks like we have Francis here with order 3095, which sometimes those orders skip around, but a lot of times they go straight through. Used my dad's. Oh man, that's a look at that. I messed up that box. I think that's the first time I've ever done that. I'm over here getting ready to tell you guys this is my dad's lucky knife as I peel a little bit of the top off, which isn't cool. All right. Ooh, look at this. This box is different, and the reason I say it's different is because these packs are not the dark packs. These are a little bit lighter in texture. So that's definitely interesting. So we're going to pull this top pack off here. I'm going to weigh it. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the first 3 orders because I'm probably going to weigh the first 3 packs straight down the left side before we get into opening them. So, Richard's here. That's the first one. That's the second. That's the third. So these are their packs. So Richard is going to get this Blastoise pack. Ash, you're going to get this Charizard, and then this Richard. Looks like Francis is going to get the Blastoise, and then Richard's going to get this Venusaur. But I'm going to weigh these packs out. So hopefully we can get a good idea of what's heavy and what's light from the first 3 packs, and we'll go from there. Derek says, Eric said, show the grades. Uh-oh, there we go. Maybe we'll do that here in a little bit when we open up one of his packs. John T, like the stream, please. Thanks for the super chat, man. Sorry, sometimes I get into it and I forget to watch what's going on here on the screen over here in the chat. All right, so the very first pack, we've got 21.02. Now, in the other box, this was actually a lightweight, but we don't know for sure in this box. It might be a little different because, like I said, these packs look a little different. And I know that the focus isn't down here, but you guys should still be able to make out what's going on. I've got the focus up here for when we open the packs. That way, we're not having to deal with the autofocus the whole time. All right, so there's a 21.14. Again, this doesn't make it definitive for whether, like, this is, if there's a heavy, like if this is a heavy weight, this actually might be heavy now. So, but we're still looking at it. We got a 21.18. Ooh, we might actually have to look at these packs. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick Francis's pack right in here, and I'm going to just set it face down. And I'm going to do the same thing here because we'll go back and weigh them out. But I want to be a little bit more definitive on the pack weights before we go through. Let's see who the fourth order is going to be. So we got Daniel here. He actually bought one base set pack plus a variety pack. But I'm going to set his variety pack off to the side. So this is going to be the one with your base set pack. So set that right there. 21.65. Okay, so this is most likely the heavy range, and those other ones were most likely light. So I'm glad that I did not open those up. This is one I'm going to say for sure is going to be a heavy. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Daniel's pack plus his variety pack, and then as we go down through here, if we happen to see, you know, that there's some kind of discrepancy, then maybe I won't open these. But these all should be light packs, so we're going to leave those as is, and this will be the very first pack that we open up. So let me put this scale off to the side. And yeah, let's get into it. So we're gonna start off the stream opening up this heavy pack, and then we'll open up that variety pack there, and then we'll get back to open. It looks like quite a few base set packs right there in a row that we're going to be looking at. Oh, look at that! I missed a bunch of other stuff. John T, welcome to. Thanks for joining the channel at Charmander level, man. Definitely appreciate that. Thanks, Justin. He says doing this type of break is exciting. This is one that we're doing a little bit differently. I haven't done this kind of break before, but hopefully, you know, we only open up packs that have hollows in them, and that way the people who bought packs unweighed that would have, when we open up, just had a non-holographic rare, you still have a sealed pack, and then you can do with it whatever you want. Old School, I see you in here. He said, I'd say that's a heavy. Yeah, there we go. All right, so 1, 2, and 3. Looked like the uncommon wasn't doing too well. I think I got an eyelash trying to pop down right there. All right, Daniel, so we have Eradicate, a Dratini, a double colorless energy, got Abra, Onyx, Ponyta. These are still no sheen, so even though the pack wrapper itself is a different color, I'm going to say these are probably from the same run, looking at the weights and how there's no sheen on there. Got a nice Squirtle, Psychic Energy, Lightning Energy. Oh man, I thought we were going to start off with a Charizard, but we have a Ninetales right there. So we did call this one right at least. Seeing some very faint print lines on the right side. Wow, that centering is about exactly what you would want. Justin said, check for war turtles and no stages. Yeah, I know. Oh, guys, I just see a white dot down here and another little white dot there. Guys, I don't know if you saw where I posted it. Somebody else had put into the comments that Pokey Chloe and Pokey Dean had actually opened up a no-stage Blastoise a year ago already. And they were right. I went and looked at the video. They had no idea what it was. But yeah, I guess this is when they were a lot smaller because they only had 1,000 views. But they opened up a base set box. They were opening up Gym Heroes. I mean, it was a good video. Still really good quality. And yeah, they opened up a no-stage Blastoise on camera. So it was not a first last week when we did it. And I made sure to change my title where I was like world premiere, world's first or something. Because, man, I felt pumped that it was the first time. But they definitely had the very first. Richard says, you can open mine to confirm it's light. All right, Richard, if that's what you want to do, we can do that. Braille Reader, look at that. He just gifted 5 memberships. I told you guys. Who do we have? We've got Trayla Blazer, old school. Like he's a mod. You should get like a free membership if you're a mod. You got Shadowless Tony, insert pause home, and then El Bosso. Guys, that was from Braille Reader. He's got some stuff tonight that he's opening up as well. But big thank you to him for that. I'm going to go through this a lot faster. This is the variety pack. If you guys could throw some hearts in there for Braille, that would be pretty sweet. I can't remember if he likes a specific emoji or not. And then, Richard, we'll go back to your pack and open it up. If you would, just throw it in the chat one more time to confirm that you do want me to open it. Your username and everything kind of matches up from what I've seen several times. So I'm going to trust that you are that person. All right, so we've got Squirtle, got a Slacking V. Now, if you guys remember, I used to sell these to open up live. I don't actually have them as available to open up live during the stream. This was just a kind of like a package thing that got in early. I guaranteed when we did these, if you don't at least get 2 hits, then you get 3 free packs. So hopefully we'll see some more hits in here. Martial Law, look at that. Super chat. Thanks so much, man. He said, good luck, guys. Dude, good luck to you. I mean, y'all are so close to 10K. I keep checking it every day. I think the last I saw earlier today was 9.88, man. When you hit that 10K, you're in the 5 figures. Took me many years to get there. I'm super slow and steady on this channel. I think we've gained maybe 5 subs in the past 4 days or something like that, but it's still usually pretty steady upwards unless I post too many videos at once. If you guys were around for that, the 25 videos that I had posted, all from like old video archives and stuff a while back, that I've never lost so many subs so quickly ever. Before that was pretty nuts. All right, here we go. Old school, and I do still have your offer sitting in my inbox. I'm thinking about it. I've got so many packs that I'm selling and kind of burning through right now, and a lot that I'm buying. Just so many good deals have been out there. Oh, look at that! Got a Ditto Nummel. But jungle, we haven't had any jungle in a while, so that might be cool to have. So what do we have here? Braille says, TCA Gamer, are you weighing the fossil packs as well? Just like the base set. We're going to do it the exact same way. Unweighed boxes usually sell out much slower than if I just split it up to heavy and lights, but then usually the lights sit around for a while and the heavies are gone super quick. But you know, the unweighed box sold out, you know, before the video this time, which hasn't happened in a while for unweighed. So I was surprised with that, and so I think people like the idea of not fully losing that money if they do get a light pack, because you're going to retain some of your value. Whereas if you go ahead and open it up, you get a Pokemon breeder, you're going to lose a lot of the value there. Richard Monet says, still a thumbs up, TCA Gaming. Not sure if you saw. Thanks for tagging me again there, because I had missed it the next time you'd said it. If you're saying you'd said it already a second time. All right, Daniel, here's the rest of your hits there from your variety pack. And we're going to get back to opening up some base set stuff. We're going to open up Richard's pack, and then we'll get back to weighing out packs and doing the ones that are truly heavy that should have a hollow inside there. After, I believe Ray, he's got a couple packs coming up next, so we'll weigh his out. We put Daniel's stuff away. Thanks, Daniel. Congrats on getting your holographic Ninetales. It's not the Charizard we all hoped it would be. All right, so let me get Francis out of here. I'm going to go ahead and seal his up. Well, need to put it inside of that. I like to stick them in here. There we go. And then here's Richard's pack. So this is what Richard, well, I'm going to show you guys the way to get on his. It should be light, looking at how heavy the other pack was, but 21.19, a lot of times if somebody sold this on eBay, they would think it's a heavy just because it's over 21 grams, but that's not always the case. It's good to have the box. XS Cash 10 just gifted 1 membership. Thanks so much, man. Who got it? Dr. Savage. Look at that. Old school, I saw you had a question in there, but I definitely missed it. Or it was some kind of comment. If it was meant for me, I missed it. Just repost that sucker. All right, so we've got Porygon, Pokédex, Wartortle. Man, wouldn't it have been pretty epic if we had opened up an Aerobox Wartortle, you know, from your should-be light pack? Got a Caterpie, Machop, Drowsy, Tangela, Psychic Energy, Grass Energy, and there it is, Devolution Spray. And you guys saw it with how heavy the pack weight was. Again, a lot of people would sell that as a heavy. You don't want to do that if you know for sure that it should be a light based off the weights of the other packs within the box. But thanks, Richard, for letting us open it. It's kind of like a cool example for everybody else too. Spection says he would buy Celebrations if there were booster boxes of it, but only invest in space-efficient product. So for me, for celebrations, I broke everything down, and I would just I keep the packs in like these big 5-row boxes. All right, next up we have Ray. He bought 2 packs. We're going to pull the next 2 off the left side. Let's see what he has here. 21.49. That is probably a heavy. I'm going to say that it is. Then we got a 21.02. So we're going to put the Charizard artwork just as it is. We're going to put that back in the pack. And then we're going to open up his Blastoise. So you did get 1 heavy pack. Let's see what you got in here. Braille Reader says, that means mine is light. Sad boys. Justice says, heavy base set packs available. As of when the video started, I think we had 4. I put 6 up. I put it in the chat. But yeah, if you click on the link at the top of chat, you should be able to see what's available. There was still Fossil First Edition left and Base Heavy when the video had started. All right, so we got Seal, Machoke, Ivysaur. We've hit a starter in every pack. There's the HP Vulpix, which I do have some 1999-2000 heavy packs as well from Dan. I did not put those up on the website. You would find the corrected Vulpix out of those. Fighting Energy, and ooh, got the Venusaur. Just like that. I think this is the earliest we've hit one of these in a while. Centering is still looking really good. Let's look at the hollow pattern on it. What we've seen so far is when we've ran into those print lines, they've been on the lower part. I'm not seeing them a whole lot because he takes up most of the hollow on the lower part. This is definitely the easiest of the 3 to grade in a 10. Charizard being the hardest. Blastoise is kind of tough. Ooh. You got 3 really nice clean corners. This bottom one seems to have a white dot. Ooh, Muhammad just gifted 10 memberships. Man, thanks for that, dude. It's for the Venusaur pool. We got Pokeboss, Loyalty, Joe, Ed. Oh, I think it was Pokeboss. He might have just been putting in a chat. Got Sovereign, Branson, Mick, Nick, Soul Factor, Johnny, Justin. Guys, if you were gifted a membership, throw a Mewtwo emoji down there in the chat. You should have access to extra emojis now. And then if you don't, put a little heart in there. Just as a thank you for Muhammad's generosity. I really don't know what else, as somebody's speaking out. You guys are gifting this stuff during my stream. Like, what else could I say? Give them an emoji, an imaginary token that's online, but it definitely means a lot. Thanks, guys, for you guys participating and helping each other out with that kind of stuff. I know there's one guy who bought 3 packs earlier today. I still haven't got his refund. He hadn't been able to apply his discount. So if you guys ever buy vintage packs and they're supposed to have a discount on there and it doesn't apply, just let me know. Send me some screenshots so we can get it taken care of. All right, next up we have Martin, who also bought 2 base set packs. So he's got a Venusaur and a Blastoise artwork. Let's see what he has here. I'm going to say that one's a light, and I'm going to say that one is a light too. Sorry, Martin, we didn't get you a hollow pack in here. Who knows? Maybe there's a glitch and the weight changes halfway through the box. That would be bad because then I would be sending out everybody's packs as lights. And then people would be like, what's going on? All right, next up we have Donnie. He bought 3 packs. This is order 3102. Also, I have spare batteries over here sitting to the side just in case this thing dies. All right, we have a heavy Charizard artwork like that. A light Venusaur artwork. If I make a mistake on the heavies, we'll know it when I open the pack. If I make a mistake on the lights, I hope you guys let me know, like you did with that Lapras one. Man, I had so many comments about that. I'm glad you guys stuck it out and saw where it was figured out at the end because we had 1 extra heavy pack, so we doubled up on weighing everything out, checking it out. All right, you went 1 for 3, Donnie. You have 1 heavy pack here. So far, we've pulled the Venusaur and the Ninetales. Am I missing anything? I can't remember. Let's see what we have here. We know we have a Caterpie. Cosper says, hey, Rusty, if you weren't doing this full time, what would you do? I'd probably do something construction or landscaping, something outside. I say that, but who knows really. I like seeing the fruits of labor. Got a switch. So far, we haven't hit any. Yeah, nothing from the starter threes. We haven't hit any Pikachus yet either. Maybe that means we're going to get a Charizard. Ooh, a Clefairy. Have we pulled a Clefairy yet? I know we didn't last video. Let's look at it. There it is. You got to get it that right tilt, but you see that print line there and a few small ones right here. You almost don't see it until you tilt it back into that light, so the light's hitting it almost at a 90-degree angle. Or the card's 90 degrees. I guess it'd almost be horizontal to it. All right, let's look at the back. Clefairy and Chansey, they're usually pretty tough to grade. Chansey's more popular and a bit tougher to grade than the Clefairy. It would have been cool if we had the Heart Clefairy. The Clefairy. You guys who watched my base first edition box might have made fun of me for that one before. All right, here we go. We'll put these up. Congrats, Donnie, on your one heavy. You got 2 lights. And then from your heavy, you pulled a Clefairy. Ajax says, Rusty, do you watch UFC? I don't really watch any sports at all anymore. If anything, I'm gonna get outside. I'm gonna play some basketball, but it looks like I'm gonna be more playing whatever my kids are, trying to participate in that. My little girl just signed up for softball, so we're learning that. I know a little bit about that. I used to play out back with kids in the neighborhood and stuff. Already getting hot. All right, who we have next? We have Carson. He bought 1 base set pack. Nice Charizard artwork here. Let's see what he gets. 21.23. I'm going to say that is a light. So we're going to put that one up. Yeah, for anybody who wants to grade cards, as long as it's pulled on stream, we can grade any of those. If you have bought from me in previous lives, you probably already have an email about it, but there's a little password to it. I'll send out an email tomorrow. Tomorrow you have all day, or you can go ahead and send me an email now if you want. Of course, if you know how to do the process, you can check out, once your stuff is opened up, let me know what card you want to grade. All right, Tate, you have 3 packs here. And I believe somebody had said Eric, when we get to him, he did want to have his packs open, or his grades revealed. We'll show what he got. Ooh, got 2 heavies. Look at that. Can you go 3 for 3? All right, so you got the 1 light in the Venusaur. DJ says Clefairy sounds cooler. I like it too. Stressing it out. Man, that people tell me to cut away with a knife, which that's not good advice all the time. I mean, sometimes yeah, it is, but it's definitely not a universal thing. And there was one other thing that people always made fun of me for. Oh, my reaction to the Charizard. That was almost every one of the comments. Devin says, Rusty, do your kids share the same passion as you? My son just got into it, and I couldn't be happier. I think they do like it, but I don't think they like it to the same extent that I do. I don't really push that kind of stuff on them, because if I'm going to enjoy it with them, I want them to really like it. But maybe one day. All right, we have War Turtle, Professor Oak. We've already seen 2 War Turtles in this one. Maybe they gravitate towards the heavy packs. Ooh, a Squirtle and a Bulbasaur and a War Turtle. That's pretty good. And you're going to get a holo. Nice Alakazam. There we go. Beautiful. It's a good looking card. Let's check out the backside too. Yeah, looky here. That's what I said. The centering on this one isn't as good. I wonder if this is from another sheet. It's not terrible. The front actually looked pretty good. The back seems like it has different centering, doesn't it? But the condition seems to be better. I'm not really seeing any white dots. Maybe a small one down here. If it is there, I mean, that's pretty small. But you still got 1 more pack to go. You got 2 holos from yours, Tate. Zard in a SAR pack. I hope so. I hope we see multiple Charizards. I don't know if I've ever did that from a base set box. Ooh, party foul. Rip the pack out of the middle seam. It didn't go around to the front though, so it still should display okay. Inspection says he thinks he saw a print line right at the top. Yeah, I didn't look at that one as in depth, did I? Arcanine, one of the best uncommons in my opinion. Got Porygon, Staryu, another Squirtle. Got the Potion, Ghastly, Nidoran. Got a Water Energy, Psychic Energy, and ooh, Blastoise. It's not the no stage, but look at that. So this is the 4th Blastoise we pulled in these 3 boxes. So we've went 3 for 3 plus an extra. This guy, he's making an appearance. I definitely see some light print lines on the left side. Maybe even on the right side, but quite a bit lighter. I mean, they're really not sticking out too bad. Well, we've already hit 2 of the big 3. Again, condition on these 3 corners looks good. I think I see a white dot down there. I wonder if it's because I'm right-handed and I'm tilting it at a specific angle so that I see it on the one side. But there we go. Got another Blastoise. So this side is doing pretty good. Still no Charizard. But I don't think anybody's going to complain if they pull a second Blastoise in the box either. Old school. I agree. I'm hoping Dan's boxes has that stuff too, or Dan's packs. Because like I said, I know at least 2 packs were bought. And usually these guys, they like their heavy packs once they see them. All right, who is next? We have Jamie. All right, so next up, this one is a Blastoise artwork. Okay, so I'm going to say that one is light. So we'll get this one packaged up for you, Jamie. I feel a little bit better about sending out a sealed light pack, like weighing it out this way. What do you guys think? I've only heard good stuff so far. I did have someone say I should refund back to the light price if for some reason. And that's one of the lower light ones, but I'm going to say that that's probably still in the heavy range. And I was like, well, if I do that, would I charge people for the heavy price if it ends up having a hollow? And then I think they kind of agreed. They didn't get that the price was kind of like in the medium. Old School said, Dan already pulled all the terrible pulls, nothing but bangers left. Well, that's assuming we don't double up, right? All right, so we have Kadabra, Pokemon Center, got a Growlithe, Caterpie, Machop, Drowsy, Energy Removal, Tangela, got the Fighting Energy. Oh, it's a Chansey. There it is. So for those of you who don't know, Chansey actually has a card that has a black dot down here too. We've pulled it once on camera. Man, look at that. There's only one print line, but it's definitely there. it's made its presence known. But gosh, that centering is so good. It looks really nice. You know, if we weren't so deep in the hobby, always looking for the imperfections first, you know, we probably wouldn't even notice that print line there. Great centering too. Good condition on the back. You know, I think there's one little white dot right here, although it almost disappears at the right angles. But yeah, I'm going to say that one is a white dot for sure though. All right, Lionel. I think it's Leon. Yeah, we're going to say Lionel. There's your pull. You got yourself a nice Chansey. Back in the basic Pokemon with 120 HP, that was usually a pretty easy throw in the deck, especially if you were trying to stall out. Derek says, how did he know it's Chansey? I saw the number 3 at the bottom. It was white, so that already tells me it's going to be Clefairy or Chansey, and then 3 is Chansey, 5 is Clefairy. I've had the base set long memorized. All right, so we have Kyle right here. He's getting the last pack on the left side. So this would be pack number 18 for the video. It's a 21.0, so that's definitely going to be a light. Let's see if I can flatten it out a little bit. we push it in there just right, it should. Yeah. So that'll preserve it a little bit better than it was in the box. That's kind of ironic, huh? Cam says, I hate the part of being this deep in Pokemon. As soon as I get a nice card from a pack, my instinct is to see what's wrong with it. Yeah, I know, man. It's sometimes it can take away a little bit of the joy, but it's still cool to pull this stuff. All right, David, you are next. Here are your 2 packs. These are the top 2 from the right side. All right, so there's a 20.97, that being the lightest that we've had from the box so far. Definitely going into the light pile. Let's look at this. Zard, a 21.40. So we're going to open this bad boy up. Let's see what Mr. David gets. What are you guys calling in the chat? I haven't been telling you to call it every time. Muhammad with the super chat. He says, can you show us how to send packs for grading? Like how to package them or just how to do it through PSA's website? Because, I mean, you just go in there, submit, and then when you choose the surface, you choose packs. And then when I send in packs, I usually send them in, you know, like this. I put them in one of these little semi-rigids, and then that's pretty much it. You know, it's the same as regular cards. Charmeleon still strikes me so differently whenever I see a really strong red colored Charmeleon. All right, I'm seeing Blastoise, Mewtwo. I'm seeing a Rattle Raid from John. Did Rattle finally pull his Moonbreon? He's got to get there. All right, there's our first Pikachu. There we go. Got Diglett. Psychic. Oh, I jumped straight to it. It was a Mewtwo. Did anybody call the Mewtwo? Man, centering again is great. If there's print lines on the bottom, I'm not seeing it. I thought I might have saw one on the top. Wow, that's a good looking Mewtwo. Man, again, that bottom left corner though, it's got one white dot. I wonder if that's sometimes I wonder about that, if it's like a cutting defect that you just see over and over and over again. And then they fix it, and then it gets dull again. Because you wouldn't think that it would, all these cards would have the same little issue in the same corner. Poke Knowledge Cards, he says, no Moonbreon yet. Oh, man. He's got to get it eventually. I mean, I think at this point, everyone knows it's not financially responsible to go for it. But you got to win, right? I mean, you got to go for it. He's got to pull it himself. That's how I felt with the Nessa and Opal. Like, it just didn't make sense. Those last 100 boxes or whatever I opened to get to that point, definitely not worth the $10 card. All right, David, let's see what you have. Ooh, got yourself a nice heavy there. Took the gamble with one pack and you won out. All right, so you got a Venusaur artwork. Inspection says, is it possible that side of the box got bumped? Well, on this side, they would have been over here. It actually would have been on this side, so it would have had to been like the middle of the box and then the outside of the box. But if you look at these boxes, I mean, they're in pretty nice shape. There's like, I don't see it happening from the outside of the box, bumping all the way into the inside, because it's like a white dot itself. It's not like a ding. But I wouldn't see that happening. Oh, I see the little, I didn't realize I had my YouTube analytics on the side. I see where the Rattle Raid come in here. Oh, it looks like that. All right, so we got the Charmeleon, got a Super Potion, got the Full Heal, Rattata, another Pikachu. So we, what was that, 2 in a row now? Doduo, Weedle, Lightning Energy. Can we get a Fire Energy? Are we going to get a Charizard now? Oh, man, it definitely happened just like that. Wow. We didn't pull a Charizard last week. Got one this week, though. And Eric, if you are here, let me know in the chat. Let me know as well. I'll show you your Charizard grade if you want me to. I'll go ahead and show it now that we've pulled the Charizard. I think it was Eric, right, that pulled the Charizard? Man. Because you had some pretty good grades. The guy who pulled the Charizard and the 2 Blastoise. He also pulled the Dragonite. Boom. There we go. Fire energy with the Zard. And somebody did say it was going to come from the Venusaur artwork, didn't they? Oh, that's really cool. Way to go, man. Did anybody call the Charizard on that pack before I got to it? Because I forgot to ask you guys again. So we've gotten all 3 of the starters so far out of this box. We'll see what else we can get. Maybe we can double up on something. Oh, it looks like the Router Raid left. Oh, man, look, bam! That's so cool that he's rated us out now 4 weeks in a row, so definitely appreciate that. All right, Brandon. And Eric, you might have said something in here, but then we pulled the Charizard and everybody else went in there, so I missed it. But if you did put something in there letting us know that you wanted to see your grade, chat, let me know, tag me, hit at TCA Gaming, I'll try to see it. Grant says he's here. Show that grade. All right. All right, we'll do it after this pack. So let me put the Blastoise in here. I don't always do the best at CGC, but these grades actually did pretty good from that submission. All right, so let me see if I can pull over Chrome. Hold on, let me I'm gonna pull up the card first. And then I'm going to show Chrome. And then we'll get back to opening up packs if you guys are just wanting to see that. But we pulled this Charizard. Nope, that's not the right one. There we go. So this Charizard was pulled 2 lives ago. You guys can see it actually pulled to 9.5. So I thought that was a really nice grade. CGC already has them put into the system. And you can see it's got the pedigree from the base break from 3.7. Now, it'll probably take them 3 weeks to get this thing back to the mail. It's like registered snail mail. But you can see right here in 9.5, there's 47 in that grade. Only 1 has the 10. And I would assume that's not going to be the perfect 10. But also, you had, there was a Blastoise. There were 2 Blastoise pulled. One pulled the 9, and then one of them actually got the pristine 10. If you guys remember, we were looking at this one, and it just looked absolutely flawless, especially for like a base set card. You can see right there, there are none higher, so it's top pop. There's 3 there in pristine 10. But he also pulled, I think I exited out of the wrong one, didn't I? I'll go ahead and show you guys this one. This is for Sine. But the Hitmonlee, the Stain Era, got the 10. I thought that was pretty sweet. And there was a couple other grades that I had pulled up here, but it looks like I clicked out of them. But I wanted to share that with you guys. I think it's pretty cool when we can see the cards as they come back and what grades they got. There were, who was it? The Shining Tyranitar that got pulled from the Neo Destiny box break. That one ended up pulling a PSA 10. I didn't grade that. They graded it themselves. And if you guys saw what that Hitmonlee, it was top pop, and there was only 1 in the pop. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I guess there are no higher stain Hitmonlees. All right, next pack this is for Danny. He's got 3 booster packs, order 3111. So it looks like his first one's going to be light. Yeah, we pulled the ink smear 2 lives ago, and we pulled the no stage last one. I would have loved to have graded that no stage. All right, so you got 1 heavy with the Venusaur, and then I think you got a second heavy there with that Blastoise. So we're going to open up both of these. Nice. You went 2 for 3. Charmander says, Black Dot Arrow Charizard. I would like that. Devin says, TCA Gaming, any reason why you should go with CGC over PSA? So for middlemaning, I am definitely going with CGC just because they grade so quickly and there's a lot faster turnover. And I really like the pedigree option, so I think that's pretty cool. PSA is just much slower on the bulk option. They're heavier on the up charges as well. Right now, I'm charging $20 per card that you want to submit. Wherever you are, like if you buy, those submissions and you're in the UK, I'm not charging you any extra shipping for any of that. So if you submit, 10 cards, I'm going to ship it back with whatever you bought, like the non-holographics or whatever else is kept. But yeah, so that's $20 all in. Got an Ivysaur. Muhammad says, can I see my Alakazam grade? I might be able to pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up without showing some of the information. I just got to go back into CGC. But yeah, we'll look at it. We'll look at it after this guy's packs. I done flipped over the thing, didn't I? There we go, Danny. All right, we've got a Charmander, Grass Energy, Psychic Energy, and Poliwrath. There we go. Got the nice blue background there. Somebody's texting me. Who's texting me over here? Oh, if you guys heard somebody holler in the background, that was my wife hollering at the dogs, but she wasn't too loud. So she did good. So there's the Poliwrath. Let me put these in here. Programmers, member for 7 months. He says, yo, what's up, man? So Cam says, we weren't able to get pedigrees. Do you have to tell them before each of your breaks? I do not. I just have to kind of like provide the evidence along with it. And now that I'm doing it every week, it's a lot more regular thing. I talked with James about, I've got a guy who was willing to get his situation taken care of. I don't know if you guys ever talked to him or not, because I told him about that y'all had an issue. I don't know if you ever followed up with him, or if he didn't follow up with you, let me know and I can look into that. All right, so we have Programmers. He's in here. We haven't seen you in a little bit, man. Glad you could make it. He gifted 10 memberships. If you guys don't know this guy, he's so generous. But yeah, I've already missed most of the people who were gifted. Let's see, Toot, Nolo, Benjamin, Austin. Got a Russell, a Crane, Nick, Ness, RB9, Lynn, Robbie. All of you are just gifted memberships. If you are a member here on the channel and you can, throw a Blastoise emoji down there in the chat. That's going to be one of your exclusive emojis. And if you're not a member, put a heart in there just as a thank you for Programmers' generosity. Definitely appreciate that. If you guys want a membership and you don't have gifts enabled, make sure you do that. I don't know how to do it, but you could probably Google it and have it enabled on your account. That way you can be gifted a free membership if you want one. All right, here we go. Got a Zapdos. Got the very first legendary bird. I don't think I looked at the print line's too heavy on that last one. Usually if there's a print line on Zapdos, you're not going to see it anyways. Very nice condition. Again, we're seeing very similar edges. This one has a super small white dot, if that's what I'm seeing right there on the bottom left. But way to go, man. You went 2 for 3. Got 2 haulers. Didn't get one of the 3 stars, but you did get the only legendary bird that we see until Fossil. Maybe we'll be pulling some of those tonight when we break into the Fossil first edition box. Devin says, if I pull a Gengar or Dragonite, I will gift $20. Man, I don't think I can control that, but I definitely wish you the best of luck. I know you were talking about pulling a Dragonite before the video that had started. And we're going to go look up Muhammad's Alakazam really quick. So if you guys will halfway bear with me while I check out online. Whoa, what's all this yellow and green stuff going on here? All right, so we got Quack. Thank you so much. I probably just definitely did not pronounce that correctly. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says there's a holdover here from the Rattle live stream. Greetings, Rusty. Yeah, man, I saw it spiked up. I thought it went down, but I was looking at the wrong screen. Yeah, thanks for all of you who come over from the Rattle stream and have stuck around. And we have Dustin Perot. He says, let's see one more Charizard. I hope we do. We've got some heavy bases that we're probably going to open up at the end of the video too, so we have another chance there as well from a different box. All right, so let me look up my CGC submissions. So you guys just bear with me for a minute. I want to show Muhammad his Alakazam grade. So you're not going to be able to see my screen right now. I'll show it once I get the grade up because I don't want to show every grade from that submission. Leave a little bit of surprise in there. Yeah, there we go. That's the one. All right. Here we go. So Muhammad, here is your Alakazam. It pulled the 9.5. Again, I don't get the subgrades. It's just a basic grading, but you can see right there's the front, and then there's the back on that one. You can see it's got the TCA Gaming base break at the top, got the pedigree. And of course, you don't have to buy the pedigree. It's like $5 extra that I charge. But yeah, pulled the 9.5, still a gem mint grade. And I think that's pretty fair considering most of these that we saw was slightly off on the centering. You see it's a little bit thicker on the bottom. But overall, the condition was good. We did see some that had some print lines. Your Alakazam, I thought, looked pretty good. A lot of times the darker background does not show the print lines as well, which can be a good thing, you know. All right, we'll jump back into it. And we have Brian here. He bought 2 base set packs. Let's see what we get. Got a 21.18. How many hollows have we pulled? I'm sure you've posted it a dozen times already, Spection. But I'm just wondering how many we got left. And then we got a 21.12. Sorry, Brian, you went 0 for 2 on the heavies, but at least you still have your 2 packs as lights retained there. We'll put those up. John T again pulls. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we should have 2 more hollows left. All right, so we have Chase here. Yeah, I'm going to say that one's going to be a light as well. Let me get that bottom popped out. Try to preserve that pack as much as possible. There we go. So John T has a count. John Penrose says there's 10. There we go. Thanks, guys. Definitely appreciate it. All right, up next we have Eric. He bought 3 base set packs. We got a Charizard here. Again, there's a light. So it looks like we're hitting that light streak. We hit a bunch of hollows there in a row. 21.5, so there's a hollow. And let me make sure. Yeah, 21.13. Last Venusaur artwork we opened up, right? Had the Charizard. Can we do it again? I doubt it, but you know, who knows, right? Let's see what we get. I'm hoping we have 3 left, but most likely after this one we'll just have the 1 that's left. I think we have maybe 5 packs left in the box. All right, so we have Magmar, Dugong, Magikarp, got Rattata, Ponyta, Starmie, got a Staryu, Voltorb, Psychic Energy, Lightning Energy, and oh man, we got a second Charizard. Oh, there we go. Dang. Very cool, dude. This is Eric again. Way to go, dude. I think is this the same Eric? Man. Oh, dude. Dude, you were hitting it big. And I don't even know if I see a print line on this one. Wow. Oh. Let's look at that bottom left corner. I'm gonna cover it up. Give a little bit of. Yeah, it does have a tiny white dot down there. So it's still there. Still got the white dot. But you did it. You pulled a second Charizard. So cool, dude. And programmers giving another 5 memberships away. Thank you so much, dude. Again, the Blastoise and heart emojis if you guys can all around. The Venusaur artworks, man, they're being generous to us tonight. We had, who was it? Kaisers, JW, TM, Tanner, and African Veteran 77. All right, so all of you guys were just given a free membership from programmers. Thank you so. Thanks, man, for sticking it out and always being here with us. Wow, 2 Charizards, 1 box. If we pull another Charizard later on, I wonder what's the most base set Charizards ever pulled in a video is. I don't know why I'm competitive in that way, but it'd be kind of cool if we pulled some more later. All right, Ashley. 1 base set pack. Probably not likely that we're going to see another Charizard, but I mean, I guess it's nearly as likely as pulling 2 Charizards, right? I wonder what's more likely, to pull a Charizard after you've 1 Charizard after you pull 2 Charizards, or to pull 2 Charizards in 1 box. Oh, that's just 1 right there. All right, next we have, all right, so this is the last for the base set box. So he's getting the last 4 packs. We have Max. Now, odds are you've got 1 heavy pack here. There's a Venusaur. I think there's still 1 more Venusaur artwork left. All right, got a Blastoise. There's the Charizard. There we go. Last box we didn't hit a Charizard at all. It looks like we hit 1 or 2 in this video. We hit 1 in the first video. All right, Max. We'll have to get you another team bag over here. All right, so we already weighed that one out, so let's put it over here. We're going to do, looks like we're jumping into Fossil next, and then some Triple Beat. Triple Beat's going to be peppered in here with the Fossil packs. And when, yeah, we've got a lot of Japanese packs to open up too, but we're going to be opening up Vintage throughout the night. Well, not throughout the night, the next hour or two. We'll see how long everything goes. All right, Revive. Got a Poliwhirl, Super Potion, Coughing, Starmie, Poliwag, Vulpix, and a Sandshrew. Got a Lightning Energy, Grass Energy, what are we calling? Somebody called Hitmonchan. Let's see, Venusaur. It's a Nidoking. We haven't seen a Nidoking in a little while. Put that one in here. Did anybody ever run the decks with the Nidokings and the Nidoqueens where she did like the boyfriend attack? Good thing is that holo looks very clean. And backside, similar. 3 clean corners. Got a little white dot there on that bottom left. But all right, Max, thanks for letting us open up your pack, man. You still have got 3 packs over there that are light, but they're still sealed. We'll get those out to you. That was a 12-pack box, as we would expect. Let me put these in here. Marker. Make this one out of 2. Man, why is my knuckles? Braille Reader giving 5 memberships away, man. Thank you so much. Let's see. We've got Pokey Trader Matt, Imposter Tim, M. Arbo, John, and Black Bear. Like I said, I think he's got one that he likes, but like for the emojis, there's some heart emojis in there, or let's go with the Mewtwo's again. Bro, you might have to let me know which one it is if you're going to keep giving away memberships like this. All right, I'm going to put Max on here. Make sure I don't get it mixed up. It says, got to clear myself up with some gifted gifts to make up for the light pack. Well. All right, so the very next pack that we're doing is we're going to start off with Fossil, and then after this we have, it looks like 2 Triple Beat boxes. So we're going to do one of these, and then we're going to transition away from them. Let me get this up here. This box is going to be the exact same way that we did the base set edition box. We're just going to start on the left side, go straight down. If I can't, I might actually grab a few more of the Fossil. See if I got a few of them. Yeah, so Devin, I've got you on here as well. So you're not going to get the first pack, but you're going to get the next 6, and that way we can go ahead and make sure we get the weights kind of down, because we should be able to figure it out. Don't want to bust the box like I did with the last one, because I was almost thinking that those first 3 packs had a shot at being heavy last time, but they were not heavy. All right, here we go. So pack number 1, this is for Cole. Order 3123. All right, so we got a 21.0. So let me set that one there. Devin, you got the next 6. 21.14. 21.41. So that's going to be your heavy most likely. 21.04. Yeah, so these are looking like these are going to be light, similar to the last box. 21.04. Pack number 5. And then pack number 6, let's see if we can get you 2 lights or 2 heavies. All right, so you got 2 heavies. You went 2 for 6, which is about what you would expect. And then Cole, your first pack, or the very first pack, this one was a light as well. So we're going to go ahead and package these up, and then we'll open up Devin's, and then I'll jump back to the previous one, which was Triple Beat. But since we have yours right here, Devin, we're going to go ahead and open them up. He's looking for some Dragonites, right? Let me get these in here. Did you get an art set of lights? Let's see what you got here. Oh, look, you got an art set of lights, so that's nice. You had the 1 extra Zapdos. These out of here. Ross is saying the Lapras is a Dragonite. He's being specific. Look at that. He's calling which artwork is going to yield that Dragonite. And we got one light here with this Zapdos. We'll go ahead and put this up before I accidentally open the thing. Get those heavies off to the side. Yeah. All right. Here we go, Devin. We've got your 2 packs. I think Ross said this one's going to be the Dragonite. Let's see if it is. Let's see if he called it. I think last time Eric, he pulled the Charizard and the Dragonite, right? He was also the one who pulled the 2 blinds toys. This is nuts. So Meryl says, Rusty, what grade did Eric's Dragonite get? I'm going to save that one for a surprise. Of course, Eric, if you want to know, I'll let you know. And if you tell me you want me to reveal it, I will. Otherwise, we'll leave it for a surprise. Got Slowpoke, Horsey, starting off with a Haunter, not the Dragonite. There's that one. I can't remember what else he said he wanted. Just Me says, no, it's a Gengar. There we go. Man, that holo looks good. Muhammad says, Rusty, it's awesome to wait out live, open heavies, and keep the light sealed. A great move. Yeah, so far I've only got good feedback on that. I think I saw it a while back on someone's Instagram. Looks like the centering is shifted up. Front side looked a little bit better, I thought. So I'm glad you guys are in approval of that, because I definitely feel a little bit better about sending out the light pack sealed and, you know, opening everything. All right, pack number 2. Got the Aerodactyl. Tormod. They go in here because they're still. We're not going to open the ones that go inside of the semi-rigids. Those are staying sealed. They should be lights. All right, we've got the Kingler. There we go. There's my favorite uncommon. Got the Golem, Weezing. What do you guys think? What's the holo going to be? Zubat. Spectre says, how would you handle a set you don't know how to weigh? So I've thought about this. Typically, I don't like handling sets like that. But what I would probably do is send out, you know, an agreement saying, hey, I'm going to weigh them out. Probably do the whole box. Do the whatever the heaviest 12 are. We're going to open those. They could have a holo. They may not. It's one of those sets. But that would be the way that we'd go about it. And yeah, I mean, I have to reshuffle them after you weigh them, but I don't even see that would be tough, because then you'd have to reweigh them again once you pull them out, so it'd be weird. XS Cash says you can reveal the Dragonite grade if you want. Magneton. Sorry, Devin, you didn't get the Dragonite. That's what I would have wanted as well. The Magneton. This is the one that I pulled in the last fossil box where we did the heavies. It's the one that I picked up for myself. Well, it might have been 2 or 3 ago. So I know that Magneton feel, but your Haunter looked to be in pretty good shape. All right, guys, do you want to see the Dragonite? What I'll do is I'll put it in a poll, and if I get 80% or better saying that they do want to see it, then yeah, we'll do it. So let me. So it's got to be 80%. That is a question. That is not a poll. There we go. All right. Bam. I think Wheeler's got a pack in here too, a little bit later on. Got 95%. Looks like we have a few people who don't want it. Want to keep it a surprise. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up these triple beat boxes for Gabriel. And he put holo and higher only. I think he paid for like the regular shipping, but he just didn't want the extra bulk. But he did want the holos. So sometimes we can work out that kind of agreement as well. If you guys don't know Triple Beat, man, it is expensive. So these right now, they just released. MSRP in Japan is literally like $41, and so it's like 54.50 yen or something. And I'm selling these at $139.99. I paid well over $100 myself, and I had to buy a ton at once and just basically wire the money to an account. So for me to even get these to where I can sell them at $139.99, I mean, it's just kind of crazy. And some people say, well, you know, that's not too much. That's only like $80 over MSRP. But if you think about it, it's like it's more than triple. Can you imagine, say, Silver and or Scarlet and Violet coming out here in 2 weeks, and the only boxes you can find are triple MSRP? What is that? $58 or something? No, I'm at $48. Why am I? Wow, that was terrible math. But so being $480 plus tax, I mean, that would just be crazy. But, you know, that's what people want. And I've skipped out on many sets because of the high price that they started out at. But I got a lot of requests for these, so I went ahead and bought some. David says, should I grade the first Zard Beckett or PSA? I mean, I don't know. That's really up to you. I don't use Beckett a lot myself. PSA is pretty tough to get a 10 on Charizard. It's like really low, but I mean, if you hit a 10 either place, I mean, Beckett's probably going to be higher just because it's a Watsy hollow, but that's usually because it's even tougher to do. We have Quack again. He says, I never bought into breaks before, but this method of sending light packs sealed and opening heavies is a great idea. Hoping to get in a future vintage break. By the way, you pronounced my name perfectly. All right. I like that. What else did I miss a few other things? I might have. Sorry if I missed your guys' questions. Sometimes somebody might ask me something. I get a little into it. What's this dude's name? This almost looks like a Whiscash. Well, it's got to be a Quagsire, right? Is that like a Hisuian, Galarian, something like that? Quagsire? I would think so. Somebody said, doesn't it have an $800 card in it? Oh, wow. What's the $800 card in Triple Beat? I remember looking up the set thinking, why is this set so expensive? I didn't see anything that I thought was really cool. I mean, it's probably a trainer, right? This is some girl dressed skimpily. I like the art on the Magikarp. I thought that was probably the coolest one that stuck out. Who's this girl? This isn't the $800 card, is it? That would be sweet. I think Dendra has fallen off a cliff price-wise. Somebody else is saying Clodsire. West Bragg says, Japanese prices are ridiculous right now. Don't fall for the hype. If y'all really want Japanese, get it from Rusty at least so you know it's legit. Whew, I hate having to open up product and figure out which source I can buy from, but like even right now, V-Star Universe was just reprinted. I didn't get in on it because a lot of places aren't getting sealed cases. Like, why is that a thing? Somebody said Dendra. They said that's the $400 card. All right. Brandon says, Rusty saying how it is. I mean, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but it sounds like we got you got the most expensive card, so that's awesome, Gabriel. None of these come from cases, but they were so close to release, and it's from a guy that I've never had issues with, that I was okay buying them. Franklin says, coughing in the background. Clogsire. So I thought it was Quagsire, but it didn't look like Quagsire. Apparently it's a new evolution for Wooper. Or was that even a Wooper that I saw? 97 says, anyone want to trade? That's my card. And a nice Dedenne EX. Right? Man, see, I don't even know. I just don't even know. Have I put any hollows over here? Like, not even thinking, because typically I don't pull them out. Sober says, bought a case of EV Heroes from Buy E. Every box was searched and every SR gone. Sorry, man. I hate to hear that. I think I have 2 cases of EV Heroes left. And they're still sealed. We did have some issues with some of them, and I had to send out a lot of refunds. And then after that, I only got sealed cases. I got some replacements, and we were well taken care of from the person who had sourced those for me originally. But at that time, it wasn't a well-known issue what some resellers were doing. So I understood. So that Dendra is 200. The other one is 700. So I guess that wasn't like the alternate art, kind of like that Miriam that we ran into with Spec or Muhammad, right? In fact, that Miriam just finished in auction yesterday. Tauros, look at that. That's pretty cool. The Johnny says, Rusty, could we do this box break for a Skyridge or Neo? I think we would see a lot of interest. I recently had a Skyridge offered to me for like $45,000. It's just a lot of money, you know. I guess if you win at $1,500 per pack, that's $54,000. Then you minus out your fees and stuff. So I mean, you could technically do it for $1,500. If that box at $45,000 was legitimate, could maybe even go a little bit cheaper. But that's still a lot of money, you know. But I guess if you didn't have a hollow inside of it, you know, the Skyridge packs, you know, even loose, light, I mean, they're probably still around $1,000 or so, right? Pokespace says, would you sell a case of EV Heroes? Not for a price that would be reasonable, because I know mine are legitimate and I wouldn't have to source them later on if I ever want to do a break with them. Like I've got a few I think I have one or two single boxes on eBay, like $400 a box. And the reason I have them that high is, again, because I know that the boxes that I have, I mean, they have a good backstory. Well, not a good backstory. They've just got good provenance that they should be legitimate and real. Whereas most of the boxes on there at $325 to $350, or the non-sealed boxes or whatever, they don't, you know. And I think there should be a decent amount of premium on that. Hopefully Japan gets the box issue and resealing stuff kind of fixed soon. In general, if you get stuff around release or from a distributor right out of the gate, which is tough to do, then you're probably going to be fine. Oh, there's the Magikarp. That's the one that I like right there. 30 HP. Golly. I get more excited about this card. This card probably isn't worth anything. Sober says, where's everyone viewing from? I'm about 1.5 hours outside of Philly. Fly, Eagles, fly. Nice looking Gyarados. Spectre says, Rev did $1,500 for his Skyridge box break. Rev has officially crossed the 2 million subscriber amount. Here we go. Got the Lycanroc EX. Oh, I got to get more cases. More cases, more sleeves. Quack says, are there still first edition fossil packs available? If there are, you can check the link that's sitting there at the top of the chat. There were definitely plenty left when the video started. I don't know if there are still at the moment, but I would think so. We got some Japanese openings to get through right now. We have an EX that I don't know what it is. Got people in the UK and in Australia. That's a pretty decent time difference there. Alright, this is the last pack here for this box. Then we have a whole another box. There we go. Alright, what are you guys thinking for the second box? Ricardo says, campaign to the Rusty on 100K subs. Maybe in about 3 years, if I'm lucky. We'll get there. Maybe if we have another COVID situation, maybe it would boost it, but I don't see that happening. Yeah, I saw where he did the Legendary Treasures box too. When he started it, he was like 200 or so, or 300 or so past the mark. Oh, look at that. We're going to start off this box the same way we ended the other one. Colemanian. There's only one TC Gamer. This is OG. Man, I thought you were talking about inspection at first, but thanks, man. Definitely appreciate that. Dustin says, is it just me, or do the new Scarlet and Violet cards look fake? They've definitely got some extra going on there. I don't know what that one is either. Matt Wheeler with the $4.99 super chat. Definitely appreciate that, dude. He says, this is a great community. Appreciate everyone. Rusty, would you ever consider doing a type of mystery box? I have in the past, but they kept me so busy, dude. Typically, when I did a mystery box, I didn't put like some jackpot item that you could get in it. Typically, what would happen is I would typically I would put around the value of what I would expect to sell those items for. So that could work out good in one way, bad in another. And that, you know, I would make like 100 of them at a time, because they would literally sell through. 100 of them would sell just, you know, in a few days. But if it was slower and I did like the higher end ones that were worth like $5,000-$10,000, something like that, and I say did 10 of them, you know, those might take a few months to sell through, and every now and then the price would significantly change during that time. When I was making them, it was before COVID, so usually it was upward, so it turned out to be a good thing. But I would be kind of worried that it would go the other direction and go down, or there would be somebody come out with something, it'd be a modern product, and then, you know, the price tanks. So I mean, I think it's a tough situation to call with that kind of stuff. Right now, I do very well just selling out everything, you know, kind of as is. I do some of those random lots, but I can't even keep those in stock anymore. Oh, I forgot. Well, we still got the rest of this box, and then we'll show the Dragonite. Looks like it's settling in pretty hard on that poll at 92%. We'll see how many votes there were for the no. Wes Bragg says, what do you think about that comment I left on your vid this week about the new silver border cards looking like World Championship deck cards? Yeah, I agree. They definitely do. They don't have the alternate back or whatever, but yeah. And when those things first come out, people didn't want them. I mean, because they were proxies, you couldn't use them in decks. I would get negative feedback over that stuff. They're like, hey man, this is a fake card. It's got a gray border. It's been signed. I can't use it in a deck. My local Pokemon League organizer, he said I couldn't use it in my deck. It was fake. So I don't think that's an issue now, because we haven't had World Championship decks until this year, since 2019, when the Charizard kind of ran the board. And now that we're transitioning to those gray borders, you know, maybe less people will think like that. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll start making World Championship decks with yellow borders. What's going on, Dusty? All right, Stevie. I don't think we've seen an SR or anything like that in this half of the box, so maybe we still got something good to pull. That first box apparently was pretty good with that full art trainer. There's another Dedenne EX. Are we hitting all kind of same stuff here? Just here he says maybe cards with green borders. I just sold an all green Digimon trophy card, which it did pretty well. It was over $1,000 or so. Hasn't been paid for, but I recognized the guy who bought it, like the username, and I think it's safe to say he's going to pay. A play to remember says, oh, who's this one? Is this like the stage 2 for Quaxley? Is this like the new, I guess, Blastoise for the Scarlet and Violet? You guys let me know. He says, would you ever sell any of the sealed promo singles you had in that inventory video from 4 months ago? The reverse Entei, WB promos, Mew, Eevee, Mewtwo. The WB promos and the reverse Entei are both on my eBay now. The Mew isn't sealed, but I usually grade those. Eevee's not sealed either. Those are just blocks of 100. I've graded most of them. Mewtwo number 14. I don't think I have any on eBay. I might have some left on Troll and Toad. Oh, there he is again. Quavel. There we go. Westbragg says, I bought the World Championship issue up with Mason at Cardinal Gaming. He was thinking they'll have to change the World Champ cards looks in some way, otherwise it'll get confusing. Yeah, I mean, the alternate back and having a signature on the front should still give it away. And a lot of times those cards go out of rotation anyways before the next year comes around. But, yeah. Having the gray borders was one way to distinguish those cards to know that they were not playable. So, I agree. Wow, that looks nice. Look at that Miss Magius. I think that one's pretty cool too. Rattle Pokemon says, what's up, TCA Gaming? Yeah, thanks for the raid earlier, dude. You sent us some luck. We pulled 2 Charizards from that first base set box. We pulled the Blastoise and the Venusaur as well. And we still got a lot of fossil packs to open up here in a little bit, as well as some more heavy base. I heard you didn't pull the Moonbreon. Sorry to hear that, man. You guys, if you guys ever want to go post somewhere or ask some questions, like a lot of times I'm not here active, but he's got a Discord that has would you say it was like 2,500 members now or something, which that's a lot. And if you're ever curious if you're getting scammed out of something, I guarantee if you post it in there, they're going to take care of that really quickly. And then if it's a scam, you might even get to have a little shout out from one of his videos as a thank you for revealing it up to him. All right, here's the Tropius, which he's got an IG as well. I think the Rattle Pokemon Marketplace or something like that, where they post stuff, and they've been working on that. All right, so this was Gabriel. Let me show you. I'm going to show you what all hits you got from your 2 boxes. Your hits plus your hollows, which I know some places, I mean, they count the hollows as hits anyway, so typically I don't if you buy the no bulk option. I didn't sleeve your Sableye though. Quack Fam, he says, just placed my first break order ever, thanks. Which one did you get? Did you get the fossil? But thanks again for the super chat. Definitely appreciate that. All right, guys, let's look at the Dragonite. You guys wanted to see it, right? So let me pull it up, and then I will switch over. I'll show you guys what grade the Dragonite got. Again, these won't be in for a little bit, but... And there it is. All right, so it actually pulled the 10. So I was super stoked about this one as well. Like, Eric, you killed it, man. You had the 9.5 Charizard. You got the 10 on the Dragonite, and you got the 10 on the Blastoise. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could ever ask for more out of that. So, congrats on the Dragonite hit. Let's see. Looks like there is one perfect 10 out there. There's 7 in the pristine 10, and then there's going to be 1 for perfect. But congrats on that one. Thanks, guys, for participating in the poll. We definitely went higher than the 80%. How do I end this thing? Oh, yeah, there we go. Did I end it? So we had 9 people said no. Just 9%. 253 votes. 253 people voted. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool with pulling the 10 on it as well. So, I think he did very well. All right, let's see who's next. 31. I think actually we have Triple Beat next, but just to give a little break from Triple Beat, I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to show you guys who the next one is. So Tate, I know you're probably still in here. We're going to do these, but we're going to do a couple fossil packs first, and then we'll come back to your Triple Beat boxes because we still got plenty more Triple Beat to open up tonight. And let's do, we'll do 1, 2, we'll do 1, 2, well, at least try to, yeah, there we go. So we're going to do these orders next. So we're going to start off with Davis, 3130, 1 fossil booster pack. See if he can pull one. See, I think a PSA 10 runs about 3,500 now on the Dragonite. I can't remember. Trade Natural, he posts the stuff that PWCC runs through on their auctions, and I believe one sold on there recently. I would think that the CGC one brings a pretty similar price, but it's hard to say with these old WotC hollows. Dragonite is one of those. It's not low I mean, it's lower pop, but it's not like I had a pristine Giovanni's Persian in CGC 10, and it didn't bring anywhere what I would think the PSA 10 would bring, because I think that one's based off more of the scarcity of the grade, and there's going to be more collectors for the PSA 10. But whereas with Dragonite, I believe the price is based much more heavily off of the popularity of the card, so that one could go either way. All right, we got a 21.02. Got another light, so I'm hoping Andrew gets a few out of here. I think we've only had 2 hollers, right? 1, 2, 3. So we got Lapras. It looks like this one's going to be light too. So it was the Haunter and Magneton, I believe, that we've pulled already. Let's see what we have. All right, so we got a heavy there. Went 2 for 3. All right, what did Andrew get? What did he get out of his Aerodactyl artwork, and what did he get out of his Zapdos artwork? Make your guesses now. So Justin is saying the fossil packs are officially gone now. So if you guys were trying to get on that break, that chance may have set sail, at least for this week anyways. And we did have some heavy base set packs that I put up at the last minute from a different box. If those are not sold through, those will be open tonight as well. Other than that, that's it for tonight. I'm not going to open any of the other modern packs that are on the site. Got Ekans. Ooh, got a Lapras. See, this is one of those cards that is expensive because it's low pop, not so much that it's a popular card. This one has a different centering than what we saw with the Haunter and the Magneton. This one seems to be shifted to the right, but I don't think I've ever seen a Lapras without an obvious print line. Am I missing it? Can you guys see a print line in here? Wow. I wish that centering had been spot on. Spectre says, do you have more fossil first edition boxes on hand? I do. I'm just not going to be digging into them tonight. I've got more of the base set boxes too, but I'm going to try to limit that at least to 2 WotC boxes a week. I think that's already pretty high. But I've got a lot of WotC boxes that I've picked up lately. Back looks pretty clean too. Man, I wish that centering had been a little bit better, because that's a really good looking Lapras condition wise. Centering, it's not terrible, but it's not what you would want if you're going to have that good of condition. So that one looks to be like a different sheet possibly than what we saw earlier from the Haunter and the Magneton. All right, let's look at this next one. So TM7 says maybe a line by the neck. I didn't see it, but it might have been there. Yeah, this one looks to be more like the Magneton and the Haunter that we saw, where it was just slightly shifted upwards. Let's see what we have. We've got Cloyster, Sandslash, got a Mr. Fuji, Energy Search, Horsey, Ammonite, Ekans, Psyduck, got Mysterious Fossil, Geodude, Kabutops. Kabutops has been a regular. I'm hoping that if we pull another Hitmonlee, we might have a chance at that stain error again. That would be pretty sweet. But again, the holo is looking pretty nice. Centering to me is better on this, even though it's still shifted up a little bit. It's not as noticeable. See one little white nick down there on that bottom corner. Well, I thought it was. Yeah, I think that's one little white nick there. But congrats on your 2 holo pulls. You had 2 heavy packs out of 3. Most of the time people like those odds. Sovereign says Lapras was butchered in the Pokemon first movie remake. There's a lot of movies that I haven't seen for Pokemon. I've only seen a few of them as it is, and they were probably right there in the beginning. I have seen the Detective Pikachu movie because my kids wanted to watch that one, and it wasn't bad. I think my wife is around Pokemon so much she tries to steer clear of it whenever she can, like when it comes to movies and things. But then again, I mean, it's not like the acting is phenomenal either. All right, so now I'm going to go back to Tate. Tate, you had 3130. Technically, we should have opened yours up right after those last triple beat boxes, but I wanted to give a little break in there. And as my toes go numb, we've got 2 of these. And man, I hope you get that same full art or SR, whatever it was, that was super expensive, but in the alternate art rare, and it works out even better. We've got 2 triple beat, no bulk. See what we get. Muhammad says expedition break. If I had an expedition box, I had 2 extras at one point. I sold one, and then actually I think I sold both of them. Yeah, I sold both of them. I had a few of those XY boxes that come in on consignment. I had actually considered breaking those, like just offering to buy them and then break them, but I ended up not doing that. So Spectre says Dendra, she has black hair and a jumpsuit. So I guess, is this the alternate art one? Or did we see that? Is that what we saw in the first one? I don't remember what she looks like. So far, no hollows. Hopefully that's not bad. Hopefully that's not a sign. There we go. Got a Hariyama. Still not the EX that we want to see. Typically from these 30-pack boxes, you want to see 6 to 8 pulls, roughly. And that's like at the EX level or higher. So far, none. There are none. That would not be good. Not especially for me. I did buy these boxes loose, but we haven't had any trouble out of these boxes so far. This is the 3rd one of these we pulled. What did you guys say the name of this one was? The little, the super shiny red fire clown dragon, whatever you want to call it. This one I do believe is the Lycanroc. If you guys remember that Machamp that I got in for free from somebody, where I said nobody would grade it, or nobody really grades it, or had like the wrinkle in it. I remember some of you commented saying that CGC would. It was called like a pinch layer or something. I did send it off to them, and they did end up grading that Machamp. So we got another trainer full art. Usually that's a good sign, but it's a dude, so that's usually not a good sign. But you guys let me know if that one is worth anything there. Skeledirge. Skeledirge. I see 2 different spellings for it. Y'all like Clown Dragon? I like Clown Dragon too. See, when I looked at Triple Beat, I didn't really see anything that I liked a whole lot. Other than that Magikarp we pulled earlier, which I think that one's pretty cool. That Miss Magius, that one was better in person. I like these art rare cards. I think they really bring life to these booster boxes. Guy Fu, it's a dude. Thumbs down. 2 cents maximum. Well, it is what it is, right? Oh, there's that Magikarp again. There we go. That would be the one for me. Guy Fu. Coffee says, best way to ship a case of booster boxes. So what I do is I actually have special order boxes that are 20 by 8 by 8. That's the dimensions. And then I used the 1/2 inch bubble wrap, 5 feet long. You do the box, you tape it up, leave the top open, of course. But I take 5 feet of bubble wrap and I lay it long ways. And then I take 3 feet of bubble wrap and I overlap it, with the middle sitting over the opening twice. You've got 5, like if this is your box or whatever, this is the open side. You've got your depth right here, 20 inches long. Take your 5 feet of bubble wrap, 3 feet, 3 feet, and I literally take the case and I set it down on the bubble wrap, push it in the box, finish wrapping it, and with the bubble wrap that was hanging over. There you go. You got it. Tape it up, set it off. I charge extra for my cases usually. For English anyways. Japanese, I haven't shipped too many cases to be fair. But it would be a similar type method that I would do for a Japanese case. Just a different size box. Miro says, Rusty, Aquapus Deoxys Legendary Collection. I'm still hoping you crack one of them bad boys. Got my credit card ready. Yeah, those would all be fun. Leave it to TCA Game to make booster box / case wrapping a true science. It's definitely not the cheapest way to do it, but it will almost always, like, your case is going to be fine. You've got enough room in there for it to be, punted by the UPS worker or sat on, thrown out of the vehicle, whatever you want. If somebody truly wants to get in there and curb stomp it a few times, yeah, they might damage it, but it's going to soften the blow. The throwback to the box I threw in the air. Yeah, that's the testing. I still haven't had anybody complain about a box getting damaged from one of those boxes. I'm sure it'll happen one day, but for the most part, that'll take care of most of the situations. That's what I ship up to. If it's 9 PSA graded cards to 23, I'll put it in one of those same boxes, and then it'll go inside of a padded flat rate. I do a lot of these orders that have a lot of bulk in them as well, just like that. All right, let's see. Did we get 6 to 8 hits on this box? We got 8. Look at that. That's my favorite right there. Got the Gaifu and some other hits. All right, box number 2 for Mr. Tape. Justin says packaging is top tier. Definitely appreciate that. It hasn't always been. And a lot of times now, my mom or my wife does the packaging. But packaging material takes up a lot of space. I have just about every size box. Got 2-inch tape, 3-inch tape, clear tape. Got yellow faded tape from sellers who don't know how to store their tape properly. Got different size boxes, black, brown, white, corrugated, bubble wraps, 3/16, ½ inch. Got all the padded mailers from quadruple 0 up to the number 7s. It's good just to have that kind of stuff on hand. You never know what you might need to use, because people can order all kinds of crazy stuff. Zach says, hey Rusty, can you save a pack art for order 3136? Let me see, 3136. Do what? Oh, you're talking, this is a triple beat. Do they have more than one art? Are you saying you want me to save one booster pack? Typically, I will say this, like, I might have missed your question under normal circumstances, but usually if you select like live or something like that for a video, this one you could have ship sealed or live, so I'm fine with that for the triple beat stuff. But I may not see it during the live video. Usually you want to get a hold of me before the video starts. But yeah, I see what you're saying. If you're saying just you want me to save one of these packs, then yeah, I can do that. If you want me to save multiple, I can, but I think they're all, yeah, they're all the same. And I think you ordered triple beat, right? Did you order something else? Yeah. I'm seeing only triple beat for 3136. Girl says you might as well open up a UPS franchise. No, I do not want to get into that business. No, thank you. Ricardo, hey Rusty, tell your brother he has to do the new Gaifu trainer card. And don't get me wrong, I've had packages completely destroyed, some just straight up lost by the post office. UPS has stolen stuff like directly out of the packages. Like they've literally cut into them with knives and then repackaged stuff after pulling out 50 booster packs I had shipped to somebody. I mean, you just never know what happens in the mail. So as much as I'd like to say that I could get it right for you if you ship me something, or if you want me to ship something for you, it could just as easily go missing and you never see it, or it show up and it only has half the product in there. Last turn, clickbait. Why does the title say base set opening, but you're opening hyper modern Japanese? We did open up base set. We're opening up some Japanese stuff now. We'll open up some more base later. And then we also have some... Man, my monitor's shaking now. Got some Fossil First Edition open up as well. But I put in Triple Beat as another option for people to open up packs during this live video. So this is the 4th box that we're through. We've got another 3 Japanese boxes to open up later on. But we've got plenty of non-base or non-hyper modern Japanese to open up too. James, what's up, man? How long have you been in here? How have I missed my man James? James said there's still some fossil. Yeah, if the box is actually sold out, we've got, I think we've opened up what, 4 hollows so far. So we've got 8 hollow packs left. He control. You know, when people get negative like that, sometimes it brings us together a little closer. Can't do much to the keyboard anyways. I mean, you can for kids. There's cyberbullying is definitely a thing, but not for a grown man. If I get cyberbullied, then I'm gonna just step away. I'll chill out. Ooh, another hit. Man, you guys told me what this was, but I forgot. Quasi-Quavel. That can't be it. It was something like that where it was the QUA and then there was another QUA that come in a little later. Quasi-Quibble. Quasi-Quavel. Justin says all vintages sold out. So, all right, so if we're sold out of the base heavies as well, that's... you're not going to be able to buy in any more packs tonight. But that doesn't mean we've got quite a bit still left to open up. It means we've got, looks like, should be 8 Fossil First Edition heavies and then 6 base set heavies. That'll be cool. James said since like 8:30. Yeah, man. I see James Teague, and sometimes it just runs together with Justin Huerta. Sorry I missed the last stream. Saw the no stage blast. So yeah, dude, I had a lot of fun opening that one. That was, maybe we'll do it again tonight. That would be cool. If we do, I'm gonna have to take back what I said to Dan, because he was like, "Hey man, do you think it's possible? You know, we got the same type dark box, and I'm gonna get a no stage Blastoise." And I think the way we figured it up, most likely there was only one no stage Blastoise on a sheet. And you're going to run 6 to 7 of the same hollow on a sheet. So it was very unlikely if you pulled one stage, no stage. Oh, is that the same one? The good one? She's not in a jumpsuit though, is she? I don't think she is. It's still very expensive. But like if you pulled one no stage out of a case, it would be unlikely for you to pull one out of that same case. But I don't think ours was from the same case anyway. So, and... who knows what we're going to pull out of his packs. Tate, way to finish with that last pack, man. What was your other? So you got a Gaifu and a Waifu. It's such a standard term now. Muhammad says, what's the best Zard error? I mean, you've got the true corrected error from... You got the Blaine's Charizard. That one was corrected. There's an error in Burning Shadows with Hyper Charizard. It's got like an extra retreat cost on it. I don't think that one was corrected. It was rumors that there were. But I mean, you have like the test sample, the FPO one, but that's not really like an error. It was just something that wasn't supposed to be released. Wes Bragg said, "I had no idea that PokeCloy had opened one." Yeah, I didn't either. I don't remember anybody from last stream mentioning that either. All right, so this is Nicholas for order 3134. And we have an order for 3135. This I can't remember if it's the same Nicholas or not. We had a couple people that ordered back to back that were the same person, and then there was some that were not the same person. If that was the same Nick, sorry man, you got two lights back to back, but you never know with that kind of stuff. Sometimes it works it out to order it separately. And Zach, you are next for Triple Beat, but just because we haven't opened up a fossil in a while, I'm going to skip by you and let's see who we got next. Got Robert. Let's see what we have here. All right, so Robert got a heavy, so we'll open up this one. Sovereign says PokeCloy was here earlier. And see, I missed it. Like a lot of times I don't even see this stuff. I know Rattle checked in for a minute. We saw old school Pokemon. Look, wasn't there somebody else? Maybe I don't even know. All right, we got Magmar, Ghastly, got Graveler, Zubat, got the Geodude, got the Mysterious Fossil, Krabby, Energy Search, Ammonite, Shelter. Did you guys call it? Has anybody called it yet? Take a second. Call it. It's Zapdos. I only pulled it halfway up. I saw that it wasn't the Magneton, but we weren't going to have a chancy situation where I ruined it half a second early. All right, we've got a nice Zapdos. Let's look for those print lines. You know, it's got to be the focus, right? The centering looks good. I think this one has a white dot there, a little one on the bottom, and a little one over there. Dang you, Zapdos! But we pulled both the original Zapdos and the fossil Zapdos. Pulling a legendary bird never feels too bad. Poke Knowledge was here for the raid too. Yeah, that's right, because he put in a question, didn't he? Because he said, or no, he didn't put in a question. He put in an answer. I asked about the Moonbryon, and he said no, he didn't pull it. Jackson, that is an error that is on all first edition Zapdoses that he was asking about. Well, he was asking about that top left corner, why it wasn't hollow. I'm gonna push through a few more. We'll do Tate's next, and then after Tate, we're gonna jump back into a triple beat booster box. All right, Tate, let's see what you have. 1, 2, 3. So this will be the first half. All right, so that's a heavy. That's a heavy. There's a light. So you went 2 for 3 again. We've seen a few of those tonight. All right. What's coming out of the Lapras pack? What's coming out of the Lapras art? What's coming out of the Zapdos art? Hey, I think it's pretty cool that we actually have 297 people still in here, because you know, there's a lot of variety going on here. We're talking about vintage WotC and again hyper modern Japanese. I mean, that's like, it's got to be like polar opposites, right? As opposite as you're going to get when it comes to Pokemon. We're switching back and forth. Energy Search. Got the Psyduck. Got the Ekans Geodude. Ammonite. Gambler. Grimer. Seen some Dragonites. Some Gengars in there. Aerodactyl. Did I see an Aerodactyl? I don't know if I saw an Aerodactyl. This one you can tell it's shifted up a little bit more on that centering. The bottom left and bottom right corner don't look as bad on this one. I do see a white dot there. But the centering, man, if they're, see at this point, when you're shifted up this much, I just wish it'd just go on off the card, make it like some crazy miscut. What do you guys think? Does anyone else here like the errors? And then there's the Lapras. Somebody's calling Raichu. What else we got? We got plenty of Dragonites. People want to see it. 1, 2, 3. Let me set those down for a second. Put these in a sleeve before I forget that. Alright. Kingler, Amistar. Got the Cloyster. Horsey, Energy Search. Psyduck. See the Silver. Got the Geodude. Ammonite, Gambler. A second Kabutops. So this is a different one. I think we saw two. Did we see doubles of Kabutops in the other box too? All of these seem to have a really good holo there. I'm trying to look at those top left and top right. I can't tell if that's a rounding issue or if it's just the light. I think this one actually has a rounding issue though. Look at that. See it? It was cut with the dull blade. Hate it when that happens. Normally we see it with like Jungle Snorlax. That one was always just terrible for that. But usually they're a lot worse than that. That was, you almost couldn't tell that it was there. But then when you see it, you know it is for sure. 3, 4. Make sure. Yeah, that's 9. Okay. Alright, so put those there and just put another one. So you went 2 for 3. Still haven't seen a Gengar, haven't seen an Articuno, haven't seen the Moltres, haven't seen the Dragonite, but we are up, I believe is that 7 holos that we pulled? Any swirls yet? There's not going to be any swirls from WotC because they don't have the swirls just yet. If we pull out a Cosmos holo, base set, or fossil, on a fossil holo or a base set holo, man, you're gonna really see somebody like me get overly excited about something that most of you probably don't even care about. As far as I know, there are none other than what we've seen on uncut sheets. All right, Zachary, you're next. I'm going to save you a booster pack sealed. Hopefully we pull the full art before the very last pack, because that would make me want to open it to make sure everything's good. But here we go. I'm going to set aside this top pack before I forget. Oh, that camera looks good now, huh? Yeah, it'd be cool if that Lapras did get a 10. Can you save a pack art for me? So do you still want me to... So Zach, when you say you want me to save a pack art, are you saying that you still want me to open up the booster pack and then just save the empty wrapper? If not, I'll just leave that one pack sealed. Justin Huerta says, "Just Yuri, go watch his corrected Blaine Charizard, yeah, that one was pretty good too. I was very excited for that. I don't know how many times that's been done on camera. That might have been the first one. I really don't know. But that was pretty sweet. That wasn't even a box. That was just a random blister. And that thing graded a 10. J Killup. Yeah, so if the pack is not heavy, I don't open it. I'll ship it out to you sealed. It's a new method that we're trying to kind of help people's pockets. So they still have the seal pack that they could put in their personal collection, or if they want to sell it, they can do that and still keep some of their money. Jonathan, or where the light bulb blows up. I did a short of the light bulb explosion. A lot of times these videos, like, I lose them because I don't title them to where the best part is in the title. So that's why I went back to the last week's video and put the no stage error Blastoise opening. Like, that's why I changed the title, because a year from now, when I'm trying to find that video, I'm never going to be able to find it. It's just going to be lost in a bunch of other videos. Because some of these videos, I mean, they're several hours long, so it's tough to find that stuff. Zach, he's keeping all of his hits. What is that? Is that Whooper? Or is this not actually Whooper? That one wasn't Quagsire, it was Quagmire or something. Is this like a Mud Whooper? Mooper? There's a Gengar in your house blowing up light bulbs. Well, if I saw a Gengar, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably realize, hey, he's not that big. Because isn't Gengar only like 3 or 4 foot tall or something like that? Ditto Whooper. How much do you think a shadowless box is nowadays? If it goes through auction, we saw a few of those go for 60,000-ish, right? Wasn't it? Or it might have been 67,000. Now that's a good looking Pyroar. It's kind of cool that they brought through a Gen 6 Pokemon with a decent artwork. Put that in here. Alright, so he says you can't open the pack. So Justin says he's 4'3". There we go. Paldean Whooper, aka Pooper. Whoople Doop. Look, it did have an EX in there. Martial Law with the super chat. Thanks, man, for the $1.99. I'm not sure what that thing is over there on the side. Behind the scenes, is that what that is? Okay, I think I get it now. But good to see you guys in here. Make sure you guys send me a text too when you hit 10K. I'm sure the next big stream you guys have, you can push right over the top. In fact, let me see. Oh, we've gotten looks like we've got about 30 new subs since we've been sitting here, so that's pretty good. I'm sure most of them come through with the Rattle Raid, but definitely appreciate all of that. What is this one? What's this cat looking thing right there? Surrounded by the roses and flowers. Got the Clown Dragon. Yeah, well, the Clown Dragon was in the extra pack. Then I threw away your artwork, so let me do it with this one before I forget. Well, I'll get one that I rip a little bit better. I'll try the next pack. I'm gonna preserve the pack nice. Try to, anyways. There we go. That was a good rip. You could reseal that one. Don't reseal it. There we go. Nice little pack art for you. The law is here. That's Worm Gang. Like, if you guys have ever looked into the emojis as a member and you're like, why is there a worm in here on a motorcycle or another one with a random worm? It's because they were big supporters of our lives in the very beginning. Still are now, and he helped out a lot with the settings and different things, getting a computer that would actually hold this stuff. Man, is this the third one we pulled tonight? Wow. Maybe the reason the price on this one dropped so much is because it is an easy pull, or is it just coincidence? There it is. I see the worm on the motorcycle now. Because we had a few streams that just kind of just stopped working. You've got here, there's some guy. Strikes again. Yeah, I agree. She's coming through pretty good. G Monkey says, no, it's hard. What the heck? I guess sometimes you just hit them all in a row. Like I said, these boxes come loose, so they could have all been from different cases. All right, there we go. How many did you get in this one? 3, 6. You got 9 hits in that one, so you did a little bit better than average. Which I think most of the boxes we've seen lately have had closer to the 8 rather than the 6. Marshall Law says, Rusty, did you pull a Zard last week? If not, I need to send you a waifu booster box. We did not pull a Zard last week. We pulled 2 Charizards this week, though, so I think we made up for it. You don't have to send an extra box. All right, what we have here. All right, we have Nicholas next, who bought 1 Fossil First Edition booster pack. Let's see what he has. It's a 21.14, or did I just look at it wrong? Oh, 21.03. Maybe it was 21.04. There we go. All right, so this one's light. I'm going to put this one in here. Got another one for Eric. This is 2140. All right, Eric, your pack is heavy. Can you get lucky once again? Will he pull a Dragonite after pulling a Dragonite and 2 Charizards and 2 Blastoise? What am I saying? I don't even know if this is the same Eric. But even if it's not the same Eric, just being an Eric, does it give you that extra luck? Got an Arbok, a Kingler, got a Recycle, an Ammonite, Tentacool, Ekans, Zubat. What do you guys think? Oh, how is this real? How is this real? And this is like the best centered fossil card we've even had. Like, no way. Look at the holo pattern. I don't even see print lines. I see really good centering, no print lines. Man, even the back looks good. And I don't even think that's a white dot. I think, looking at that angle, I think it's just a lit from the light. Man. Might want to change your name, y'all's name to Eric when you go to check out on my website. There was one little tiny white dot I did see down there, in addition to that one that we saw, but that second one was not the lip. Eric, way to go, dude. If this was the same Eric, that's crazy, because I'm pretty sure he pulled the Charizard earlier. This is the same person who pulled Dragonite and Charizard in the previous video. We were showing off some of his grades. We got the 9.5 on the Charizard from base set. He pulled the 10 on the Dragonite, as well as the 10 on the Blastoise, which is just crazy. Now, we still got plenty more vintage, but this is one that I wasn't going to do, but I saw who it was, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to squeeze it in. So this is one that was put in right before the video started, and he asked me to do his Paradigm Trigger, open it up on camera, and it wasn't available for live opening, if you guys were wondering, but we're definitely going to do it because this is Muhammad. He's been here. He's been a supporter for a long time. He's been down on his luck a little bit lately. At least open up stuff on here. So I'm hoping that we don't have a dry spell with that one particular full art on his box, or we get the better one, and then maybe with the Paradigm Trigger. Are you going for Lugia? Is that the card you're trying to go for? Because I think you bought a Paradigm Trigger box last week, if I'm remembering right. All right, so we've got 60 boxes here, or 60 packs here. We'll go ahead and pull out the Paradigm Trigger. I want to get these boxes off to the side. Let's see what we get. There's his triple beat. We'll do the triple beat next, then we'll do Paradigm Trigger, and then I think everything after this tonight is vintage. So I don't have any more modern packs around me anyways. All right, here we go. Pack number 1 is a Sableye. Pokemat, yeah, so Muhammad says, yeah, he does want the Lugia. Pokemat says, hey Rusty, recently discovered your channel and all the information you give out is super helpful. Just want to thank you for everything and describing things for my noob self. Yeah, no problem. And you know, you're probably going to hear me say some of the same stuff over and over and over. I apologize, but this is sometimes I think about, or I look at the analytics and how the majority of the people who watch my videos, they're not subscribed to the channel, and the majority of people who are into Pokemon don't know this really niche-y stuff. So I'll just say the same stuff over and over again as I come across it. I imagine it can get a little old to people who have watched many of my videos, but I want to make sure that as many people know about these things as they can. Like even earlier when I posted that video where in the community tab where Pokey Chloe and Pokey Dean, they pulled the no stage Blastoise for like the first minute or two after the pull. They didn't know what it was. And the chat was telling that it was a no stage, and like, oh, I don't think it is. But you got to think, they're literally opening up these boxes, and they might not be familiar with some of the stuff because a lot of people really don't get down into the niches of, you know, what kind of crazy variation could you get on a base set Blastoise. Or like earlier when I was talking about the Chansey, some of you may not have known that there's a Chansey that has a black dot that you could pull that's right in the middle of the text. Or the Clefairy, you might not know that there's one that has a heart at the top of, right above the name, or right beside the name, that's encircled, or it has a red circle around it. These are all just like random things that I only know because I've been in the hobby for a long time, but even still, there are things that come out that are new that I don't even know about. And I love getting all these messages from different people on YouTube and Instagram showing different things that I've never even seen before. I was talking with some guy earlier about the tops, or not the tops, the Top Sun, different foils that they can have, and he was trying to get PSA to recognize the different variations because, you know, on the back it actually says something a little different. There's like different square and smooth, different like holofoils that you can have. But yeah, all that stuff, you can go really deep into it. There's all kinds of different foiling and surface patterns and stuff. Even like with these base set packs that we're opening up, there's like a no sheen variation on just the commons. Hardly nobody cares or opens that stuff or wants that kind of stuff, but I do. You know, I collect that kind of stuff. All right, let me get off that rant and get back over here. Alex says, years ago I bought a base set Spanish pack from you for less than $50. I really miss old prices. Yeah, but along with that comes, you know, really low demand too. I mean, there was just that few of people really in the hobby who cared. The high demand usually means, you know, there's just that many more people who are interested in the hobby and are driving that market. Muriel says, Rusty looking for a Deoxys single pack blister. Do you have one of them or that you want to sell? I don't have any. The only thing I have for Deoxys is a single box for my sealed box collection. That's it. Later, Yuri. Ross says, hey Rusty, I have a Clefairy with a black dot that is the same size as the energy symbol. That's a combo error, right? A common error, maybe? No. The only thing about black dots is a lot of times it's hard to tell if it was added later or if it come with it. Did you open this out of a pack yourself? See, the Johnny says that's a known error. See, I know I've never heard of a Clefairy with a black dot that large, the size of an energy symbol. At least I don't think I have. Man. Still got 5 packs left for this booster box, and then we're on to the Paradigm Trigger. All right, Muhammad, I'm still waiting for your mega hit. Got a nice looking Tauros right there. G Monkey says, why are there red cheek Pikachus? Are they print errors or do they mean to print it like that? It's a guy foo. Sorry, man. In fact, it's not even like a young guy foo. It's like an old man. Sorry. Unless you guys tell me that this is a good one. I mean, he does have a nice red blazer on, right? Is that a blazer? All right. See, I'm not really familiar with the whole suits and ties and what's a blazer or a tux or a vest type stuff. As for the red cheek Pikachus, I don't know. I'm not really sure on that one. It's curious because, you know, you see it on the first edition and the Unlimited Shadowless print run, but you also see it on the E3s, but it's only in the Shadowless E3, so it wasn't like a corrected issue within the set. An old foo. Says So the Johnny says, I have one, Rusty. PSA has them in the system. So they recognize that ink dot. But they can't recognize the difference between 96 red and green prisms. Come on. Come on, PSA. All right. Next up, we have Paradigm Trigger. All right. We're trying to get Muhammad the Lugia. Who is Clive? I don't see Clive in there. Oh, is Clive the name of the card? All right, Marshall. What is UWU? What does that mean? Open them, Michael. You can always buy more. Opening an alt art would be very uplifting indeed. Man, I don't even know. Oh, wait. So Michael up there, he said, I've got 10 packs of Evolving Skies. I want to open them. But then again, maybe I should wait. Car battery died on my way to work today. Opening them could be an uplifter. Yeah, I mean, you might not get what you want, but Evolving Skies, if you get a nice alternate art, that might be a good thing, but your odds are not great. Justin says, do you have any insight on how PSA first recognized the corrected symbol on symbol error on Blaine Charizard? Yeah, I submitted all the information for it, and I had them recognize it. That one, there was a couple others that I had a hand in. But, yeah, that was one that I got them to recognize. I got them to recognize the 1999-2000 Fossil set as well as the base set. I had to help them with not putting the holographics in the system for the 1999-2000 set other than the Zapdos because they wanted to do the whole set. But, yeah. Those are the only 3 real success stories I've had with the registry for getting them to recognize something. I still use PSA some, but I tell you what, the customer service at CGC as well as the turnaround time is just so much better. And even if you don't like CGC, it's really good for competition to have someone in the system. Because you think PSA would be $15 right now if CGC was at 15, was it 75 or something, you know, at the base price for bulk. I don't think that they would be. I mean, they pretty much had a monopoly before all this. BGS was a play for certain things, but for the most part, you know, I bet you 90+% of Pokemon cards went through PSA that were being graded. And that's just a guess. Can't say that for sure. I don't think that's the case now. I still think that they're going to get the majority. But as for me, I'm doing both. But I'm seeing much higher success rate with CGC, even with them being stricter on their 10s. Mural, if you don't see one on eBay, I mean, you're just going to have to check around places like Instagram. I see EX blisters and stuff like that kind of pop up there. Just kind of vet whoever you're buying from. Make sure you're protected. I know we got that Amistar V, but I'm still hoping there's an alternate art in here for you, Muhammad. The Johnny says it's still a learning process. I got a Shadowless Charizard name, first edition Charizard from PSA recently. I don't think that's something that will ever change. They're going to always make mistakes. I'm curious to see how my stuff regrades. You hear of a lot of people cracking stuff from CGC and regrading with PSA. I'm doing the opposite to see if I see an uptick on any of the grades. There's the Skuntank V. Thanks, Ross. I will check it out. Random question, but I have the Mew Black Star promo in a 10 I bought off of you, and also have one I picked up in trade that's hollow. Where did the hollow variant of it come from? It's just a different release. The non-hollow was much more common, but it's not a variation of the same card. It's actually a different promo. The non-holographic Black Star Mew is the number 8, and then the holographic Muse, the number 9. So it's a different release altogether. A good place to check for information like that, if you guys don't know, is it's called Bulbapedia. And if you go to Bulbapedia, they've got information on every set, almost every card, just about down to the T's that's ever been released, especially if it's promotional. I believe all the promotional releases, they have information on distribution, when it happened, and that kind of stuff. It's pretty simple to navigate the site, but the easiest way to get directly to the set would be like to type into Google Black Star promo Pokemon set Bulbapedia, and that way you don't pull up Pokelector or some other site like that. Martial Law says, we just got a return that was 90% 10s from PSA. Had to be Japanese, right? But yeah, I've seen some of those like that before too. Very rarely do I get that kind of returns English-wise, even back in the day. But yeah, they hand out 10s still much easier than any other company, but they hold a premium still because there's, you know, you've got 25 years worth of collectors that have been building on registries, and they're confident and satisfied with the PSA 10. Muhammad with the memberships, thanks so much, man. I know that unless we just pull something crazy in this last pack, this probably aren't the cards that you're looking for, but definitely appreciate you coming in here and still participating with the live. Let's see, Muhammad, he gifted a membership to Mural, to Michael, a Play to Remember, Jalen, and BLC. Way to go, guys. If you guys would throw a Mewtwo emoji down there in the chat. If you're a member here, you have access to those emojis. If you don't have that access, maybe throw a heart in there for Muhammad, for both his generosity and for not pulling the two big cards he was looking for in those packs. Drew says, I'm curious, you've been opening Pokemon for years. Do you still enjoy it, or does it feel like a job? It's a little bit of both. Like tonight, before the live, you know, I'm laying there with I've got my arm literally around my 2 daughters, and my wife is on the other side. We're on the couch watching Wild Thornberries. Like, you think I want to leave that? I don't, but, you know, I did. And I told my wife I'd probably be out by 10 o'clock tonight. It's already 10:12, and so I'm going to be definitely later than I said I was going to be, and I'm hoping she's not staying up too late waiting on me. But, you know, that's just the way it is sometimes, because I really enjoy these lives, but the only reason I don't do them longer is because I love my family a little bit more, you know. All right, so we have, this is Cheryl, 3142. That one does look to be light, so I'm going to put that in here. We've got XS Cash 10. Man, thank you so much. So he just gifted 5 memberships as well. You guys are always so generous. If you are Plebesaurus, Win, Florian, Ernesto, or Joe, you were just gifted a free membership by Mr. XS Cash. Pretty much means you have access to emojis now. You just got some pretty cool emojis in there. And a lot of them are related to our channel. 21.04. But some of the stuff, if you do buy vintage, you can get discounts, at least for while you have your membership. It gets you $5 off for the Charmander level on like these vintage packs. All right, so that's it for the Fossil First Edition that was bought before the stream. So we're going to get to the ones that were bought during the stream shortly after this. But David actually bought 2 heavy. He got these in right before the stream started. So these are from Mr. Dan. Let's see what you missed out on, Dan. I'm going to start off with his Blastoise artwork. David, let's see what you get. Justin says, you never have to make excuses. TCA Gaming, you're a gem in the community. I definitely appreciate all the kind words you guys give me. I know some people in the hobby, they really have to deal with, you know, some negativity. I feel like I don't really ever have to deal with that side of it, and mostly because of you guys. Shoot, if it comes in here on the stream, you mods have already got them pushed out before I can even read what's going on. We've got a nice Bulbasaur there. Sorry I can't do Thursdays anymore, Franklin. It was just a lot of work. Not the streams themselves, but I have a lot of work to do. Oh, it would have been cool if we pulled the Clefairy, like the Heart Clefairy, after we had just talked about it. But, man, I like this. Wow, look at that holofoil. That's pretty clean. I can't tell if that's... I think there's a little scratch. No, that might have been a... Yeah, I think there's a little... Yeah, you can see it there at that angle. Man, if it hadn't been for that, I would have said this would have been really, really top-notch condition. But the centering's good. I didn't see any actual print lines. Backside, top edges look good. bottom left looks pretty good. Looks like the bottom right does have one tiny white dot. All right, Mr. David. There's your Clefairy. You still got one more pack to go. Let's see what you have in this one. And then I'm going to go check out the website and see what orders that we have still left to fulfill tonight. Which, again, it should just be vintage from here out. All right, so we've got a Venusaur here. Artwork. Can we pull another Charizard from a Venusaur artwork? We did it twice. Thanks, West Bragg. The Sovereign says, spoken like a true father myself. It's just a different feeling. Yeah, I know. Couldn't trade it for anything. Got Vulpix coughing. Charmander, Sandslash. Here we go. Another Clefairy. So we pulled back-to-back Clefairies. That's the third one for tonight. Looks like Charizard, you've been outdone. Again, wow, condition looks really good on that side. Dan, I think you gave us some really nice print quality in these hollows. I didn't actually go and watch the video where he had said that he had called me on the phone. He was like, I just want to let you know kind of what was pulled, and then we discussed price a little bit. And these he was selling for cheaper than I charge, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick them up off of him. He gave me a pretty decent deal on them. Still left enough room to make some profit. All right, here we go. Let me get out of these CGC tabs. I'm gonna go refresh this. See how many orders we have. Oh yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a lot of orders that I'm seeing here. Next one up is Matt. Right? I think it's Matt. Oh yeah, so got to handwrite all these out. So this one's going to be order 3145, and he bought a heavy base. Let's see, which artwork do we have double of? Oh, so we got a double of this one, just in case somebody buys 3. Matt, are you still here in chat? What do you guys think? What is he going to get? Unodo's Trace. Got the Super Potion, the Magmar, Dugong, Weedle, Machop, Tangela, Pikachu. There we go. Drowsy. Ooh, another Nidoking. Now, I can't remember what all he said he pulled. I think he said something about maybe an Alakazam in there. Gosh, the print quality is just really nice, though. Man, that almost looks... Jeez, I'm not even seeing a white dot. Are you guys seeing a white dot? Might want to get that one graded. Even if you don't go with the CGC, you get it graded at PSA. Might have a shot at a 10 on that one. And rarely do I ever say that on WotC Hollows. All right, Matt. Thanks for participating and buying into the break. Got to get some of these big sleeves out too now. These are all orders being put in. Rusty will send you down the Pokemon rabbit hole if you watch his vids. So many cards he talked about are shown that never knew existed. So that number 52 Ho-Oh that one of you guys just mentioned that you didn't know existed, I've got bricks of those. Like the Psyduck, I don't have bricks of those. But all right, next order we have Raymond. Let's see what Raymond got. And I've got his other heavy 1999-2000 base set packs that I'll probably make active next week. Those might be a little bit more just because they're a little bit more rare, but the problem is the hollows, I believe, are just regular 1999. All right, so Raymond, you got a heavy base set booster pack as well. We're going to pull out our first Charizard artwork. Where'd my... There we go. So when I say a brick, I mean it's usually 900 or 1,000 of them. That's how they were originally distributed. They weren't like individually sealed. And then you could also get the non-Pokemon Center New York version that come out on Scantastic flyers. You could do that for both the Rapidash and the Ho-Oh. All right, we have Pokédex, Haunter, Growlithe, Gust of Wind, Abra. Got an Onix, a Ponyta, a Magnemite. We're going to get a Fire Energy and then a Charizard again. It's water. Oh, we've got the Blastoise. Dang, there we go. It's not the no stage. Sorry, Dan. But is it a pristine, another pristine 10? Is that what we have here? Wow. So that's we pulled 2 Charizards, 2 Blastoise tonight, 1 Venusaur. It does have 1 white dot right there in that top left. Whew. Still, very nice condition. Congrats, Mr. Raymond. Maybe you can pull out a high grade on that one still. We've got a Dragonite tonight. We haven't got any errors though. I wonder if we still have room for that in this Fossil First Edition box. All right, who's the next order? Got Brian coming up next. What did he buy? Brian also got a heavy base, so it looks like we're continuing on with those. After that, I think I've only got 1 more left, so most likely will be Fossil after that, if by chance the next box is a heavy base. This is order 3147. All right, what do you guys think? What is Brian going to pull from his Blastoise pack? I'm saving the Venusaur artwork over there. Well, I'm not saving it on purpose. It's just, it happens to be the last one. It's got me a little excited now. What if we finish off with another Zard like that? Here we go. Got the Ivysaur. Got the Doduo. Bill. Rattata. Skipped right over the Rattata. Fighting Energy to Fire Energy. Oh, another Chansey. Is this Chansey going to have a clean holo? Let's look at it. Ooh, looks like a slight print line on the very bottom. That almost might, that's almost so light it could be missed. Backside top corners are looking pretty good. Maybe a small white dot right there. Looks pretty clean though. Man, Dan, the box you got these from, very clean holographics. Ray, if you want to grade anything from your packs, I'm going to send out an email that gives you a direct link on my website where you check out. The password's like TCA Live. TCA is capital, L is capital, and you just buy a CGC submission. You let me know what cards you want to submit, and then I submit them. Everything else stays with me until your order comes back, unless you had bought multiple orders, and then I might ship them out. But you'll have a chance to submit that tomorrow. I'm going to send out an email in the morning. Otherwise, somebody who's done it in the past may be able to send you the link for it. It's one of those, it's a little bit tougher to find on the website because I don't want just anybody trying to submit cards. Who's next? What we got? All right, so we have Kyle, order 3148. He got the last base, it looks like. Wow, so those sold straight through before we sold through any more Fossil. That's surprising. All right, guys, are we going to finish off with a Charizard? Or is it going to be something like a Hitmonchan? We haven't seen any of those tonight. We haven't seen Hitmonchan, haven't seen Gyarados. We haven't seen a Raichu. I think we've only seen one Raichu. XS Cash 10. He says, if someone pulls a Gengar, I would be open to trading the Dragonite for it. Uh-oh. That might be a good deal right there. But thanks for the super chat, man. Definitely appreciate that. All right, we got Magikarp, Energy Retrieval, Charmeleon, Gust of Wind, Abra. Nice looking Onix there. 90 HP basic Pokemon. Here we go. Oh, another Blastoise. So we pulled 3 Blastoise tonight. So, Dan, you didn't have a Charizard in your box, but you did have 2 Blastoise right there. I thought that was a print line, but I think it's just a star. See what that is right there. Is that a reflection? Sometimes when it's on the edge itself, but not on the corners, then it might just wipe off. Same thing with that bottom piece. I think it was just a lip instead of a white dot. That's a pretty good looking Blastoise as well, man. That's a way to finish off the base set box, or the base set heavies from Dan. What do you guys think? Blastoise? Is that 3 or is that 3? Yes, 3 Blastoise tonight. Wow, that's a lot. Whew. All right, let's see what we get from the fossil. Let me put. That's a little too tight. Let me put a couple of these in here. Now, I can't remember how many hollows. Have we opened up, was it 8 hollows from the fossil first edition packs? I think I lost count. Because we're still going to weigh out the lights. Man, we could have had less of any of the trio, but I'm glad it was like the Hitmonchan, the Raichu, and the Gyarados, cards like that. All right, let's see who is next. That was Kyle, so we got Jordan next. Jordan got 1 fossil. Order 3149. So let's see if this one's going to be heavy or light. Double weigh it because I put it on there while I was still adjusting. Yeah, so that one is a light. So we're just going to ship it to you sealed. Not going to open it up. There we go. Nice and smooth. All right, who's after Jordan? So that was order 3149. We got Brian next. Looks like he may have ordered 3 booster packs, if I'm looking at that right. Yeah, so he ordered another art set. 3150. Yeah, there we go. Let me make sure I can see chat over here. I'm doing this looking at a computer screen. All right, so we got a heavy there. Got a heavy there. All right, got a light. Let me make sure both of these are heavy. So I did them so quickly. Oh yeah, went 2 for 3. Nice. That was good right there. All right, so let's get these. Is he going to pull the Gengar? Is Brian going to get it? What do you guys think? All right, I've got the Cloyster, Mr. Fuji, Geodude, Slowpoke, Zubat. Energy Search. Hitmonlee. Oh, it's not the stain error. There's no stain there. You could actually get that stain error on the Haunter as well. So I think that would be kind of cool if we saw. Hitmonlee. I still need this in PSA 10 for the Unlimited. Wow, that one looks pretty clean, I think, too. That's similar to the Dragonite that we saw. All right, so there's hollow number 1. You've got your commons here. All right, let's look at your Zapdos artwork. Anybody call the Hitmonlee? Or Hitmonlee. Got a Ghastly. There's a Golem. All right, Geodude, Krabby. Oh, is it a Raichu? Oh, it's another Zapdos. There's that evolution box hollow missing again. I'm not seeing a print line on that one. Looks pretty clean. I think that bottom right, this side over here, does have a little bit of whitening. The rest of the card also, again, looks pretty clean. I'm glad that most of these WotC packs that we've been opening up these streams on Tuesday, they've been in good condition, because that's not always the case. I mean, we did see that one was it Kabutops earlier that had the cutting issue around the edges. That's something that is more common than you might think for these old WotC sets. And it makes me wonder if like the heavier weights, if that like, equates to like heavier printing on the ink, and that means, you know, that's for better quality. I mean, that's just speculation there, but sometimes it makes me think that way. All right, next up we have Cole. Looks like Cole bought a it was order 3151, and he got one fossil pack. So let's see what he has here. All right, so that one's going to be light. We'll get that one shipped out to you sealed. And then we'll see what the next order was. So if you order 3152, you're going to be next. After I put Cole's on hold, don't want to mix it up for something that still needs to be placed. All right, hopefully internet doesn't go out. That would not be cool. All right, Danny, looks like you bought 3 packs. I believe, is this the same Danny from earlier? This is order 3152. All right, so that's a light. That one's a light. All right, so you got one heavy. We're going to open up this Lapras and see what you get. Who knows, maybe we'll pull a double Dragonite. We did double Charizard, right? Did a double Charizard, then we did 2 Blastoise and 2 Clefairies from 6 packs. Sorry, Cole. I see you're in here. Hopefully, next time you have a little better luck, but at least you still have that sealed pack that is going to retain. At least I would think about 2/3 of the value still. I mean, even if you go down to about $200, I mean, it's still better than, I think, if we opened it up and you had, say, a non-hollow Dragonite. I mean, that'd be like your best pull, I would think, that you could get. It's the Muck. It's not the Dragonite, which I don't think we saw Muck last week, did we? We've seen both Magnemite and Muck this week. This one looked pretty good, except for it looked like one white dot there. I almost wonder if that's, looks like it's extended beyond the border a little bit. Yeah, the holofoil almost always looks clean on Muck because there's not much going on there. It's dark, and then you have those little lines, and that's about it. All right, Danny, I'm going to get this shipped out to you. You still got your 2 seal packs, the Zapdos artwork and the Aerodactyl. Winter, heavy Neos coming. Heavy Neos are pretty tough. Like Destiny, you almost don't want to weigh those. Neo Rev, and they can be tough, but I think from a sealed box we might be able to do something like that. I've still got 1 or 2 extra Neo Revelation boxes, so it might be something that we could look into. All right, so that was Danny. Let's go to, all right, Quack, you're next. I think we're down to our last 3 orders. Quack, looks like you bought a decent amount here. Order 3153. Oh yeah, so he got 4 fossil packs. We had one other person buy 4 packs, and if I remember right, they ended up getting 1 pack that was heavy. So I'm hoping you get 2. Maybe you'll get everything that's left. Okay, that's 0. So that one's most likely going to be a light because it just did the negative weight. So you got a light there. All right, got a light there. Ooh, that's rough. Let's see if the 4th one gave you the heavy pack. All right. So if you just bought this is kind of cool though. I mean, you get an art set for the lights. So I mean, if you're going to get 3 out of 4 out of light, I mean, I would definitely want to have an art set because then you could just set these back. And the good thing about having a light art set is you're not going to be tempted to open these things. You can just leave them sealed, and maybe in time they'll acquire back up to the value that what's the difference between this and the unweighed price. But let's see what you get from your one heavy. Are you yeah, he's still in here. You said this was your first participation in a live break, right? He says that's exactly what he wanted. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad. You got the Slowbro. Ooh, got a good uncommon. Got the Golem, Kabuto, Krabby. Got Tentacool. Got a Recycle, Horsey. Got an Ekans. Here it is. Oh, man, I thought you had that Gengar. As soon as I saw purple, I just knew it was. But you got the Hypno. Hypno definitely is not, as popular as like the Gengar, but usually this one grades pretty easy comparatively. Let's look at the backside. That front looks good. Front, you do have a couple white dots. Like you almost don't see them when looking at the card at this angle, but getting a little closer, I do see one white dot there, but it's super small. That's almost small enough to where it could be possibly missed by a grader. I think I'm going to have to get you a fourth or a second one of these though. Yeah, because you have 4 packs and I don't want to cram all that together. But congrats on the sealed art set if that's exactly what you wanted. I know we didn't. I always root for like the Dragonites and the Gengars, Articunos, Moltres. We didn't pull that this time, but maybe in these last 2 packs. These packs are $350 each, or they were. They're sold out now. So Justin says he thought he had it too. Hey guys, is Catch 'Em All Collectibles? Are they? I think they were supposed to have some kind of podcast. Are they still streaming tonight? You guys know if they are. That's who I would like to raid out, if at all possible, because you're gonna have some good talks over there. If you can listen to me for hours on end. Dan, he's kind of similar mannered, and then I can't remember. I saw it on IG. He had some other people in there too. In case you want a little bit more gusto, I imagine you can't get too much less than what I have. All right, so we have Antonio, and this is TM752. So what's up, man? I remember seeing you put in a super chat. Something else maybe too. I think you did you gifted some memberships as well, if I'm remembering right. All right, let's see if he's going to get a heavy. All right, sorry, man, but I'm going to send out your sealed Aerodactyl artwork, and then we have one more pack to go. I don't know how many hollows we've opened up. I really haven't kept a good count. So before I weigh it, let me see who it is. Thai or Thai. I think it's just Thai. It's like the language, but if I'm pronouncing it in English, it's Thai, but I'm gonna say it's Thai. All right, man. Here we go. It's the last pack. Are we going to finish with a hollow? I guess we have already went through the 12. All right, guys. So that was a little bit anticlimactic with those last 2 packs being light, but definitely appreciate all of you guys participating. I'm going to go see if Dan is live. And if he is, I'm going to put that in there, and then we're going to do like, I still got a little pack giveaway I'm going to give for the people who are still here in chat. So just hold on one second. Let me go check out YouTube. See if I can figure out. Yeah, Pokey Flips, they're live, so I'm going to grab their channel. I'm going to give the video for that one. That's going to be the new chat message. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rate in here in case you guys don't want to participate in the giveaway. But for the giveaway, we'll do Pokey Flips as the keyword We got to put it in there yet, so y'all don't put it in there yet. So, old school Pokemon. He's a really cool guy too. All right, so the keyword is Pokeflips, and we're going to do. Well, let me see what we got here. We'll do whatever this stack of packs is, and then still got a few triple beats packs that I can throw in here too. And you'll win any of the hits from these booster packs. Muhammad, he says, Rusty, how about the non-hollow CGC grades? I've got all of those grades. If you'll send me an email if you want me to let you know what you got. Like, I can't remember what all was submitted, but if you any of the cards that you submitted, I can show to you and let you know what you got a grade for. You could probably look it up by the cert number, because your cert number for the Alakazam, if you had cards graded right after that, then it's going to be, you know, just change the cert up by 1 or down 1 or whatever, and you should be able to see, you know, what it is. But I can get you that full list. So Pokeflips for you guys, that's the one that's in the link up there that I'm hoping to raid out right after we finish this video. That's old school Pokemon. He's been around for a long time. He does a lot of singles. Dan, I think he's been around since maybe 2016, maybe a little bit earlier than that. I can't remember for sure. So he's been around for a decent amount of time too. Man, the triple beat packs are not pulling anything cool. Might grab a few extra of them if we don't get anything from the other ones. There we go. There's that. What was it? Quagmire or something like that. Yeah, guys, you probably want to put the Pokeflip thing in there once, because it will filter out duplicate duplicate entries or something like that. Ooh, nice. Got a secret rare psychic energy. Maybe we can get us some an alternate art in here. We haven't had one of those in a while. Nothing on that one. But they're a hoot. Nick from Old School Pokemon, he likes collecting the no damage Ninetales. Like, he's got more than anybody, most likely. I can't think of anybody who's got more than him. He's got some of the highest graded ones out there. He doesn't have the 10. Jim Mint Pokemon knows who has the 10. And I got turned down flat with a very large offer for that card. And, well, the dude never really responded to me, and I assume that was just their way of saying, no, it's not happening. But, and then Dan, he's the one who sold me the number 2 and number 4 trophy Pika. He sold his number 1 not too long ago. Look, more Pikas. And I believe he's got some other high-end stuff still. I don't know if he kept his number 3 or not. There's the Flying Pikachu V. Man, we're getting plenty of hits out of these packs. I might have to get another set of these sleeves. Got a Rotom and a Zerud. Hopefully I didn't just jinx it. Now we're not going to get anything. But, I mean, these are Rebel Clash packs. I mean, you're not going to get but so good, I guess. Barraskewda. Got a Lost Abyss coming up, and I can't see what's after that. There's a nice Cinderace. Looks like we're going to finish with Brilliant Stars. Maybe we'll pull an alternate art Charizard. I think the only time we pulled one of those from a pack is when we had a giveaway. So, can it happen tonight? Can we finish with the Zard? Opening the pack upside down. Here it is. Ooh, well, we got a little Houndoom, so that's nice. All right, guys. About to announce the winner. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm hoping to see you over for a quick raid. Levelgrin. Levelgrin, you are the winner. So make sure you send me an email. Let me know what your address is. Let me know that you were the winner tonight and your username, that kind of stuff. And guys, I really enjoyed tonight. I enjoyed this video. Hope you guys did as well. Pulling these cards, pulled 2 base set Charizards. We didn't pull a no stage Blastoise, but we did pull 3 regular Blastoise, which is pretty epic as well. Hope to see you over at Pokeflips for just a few minutes. If you want to know how to get there, it's at the top of chat. Just click on that link. And guys, I hope to see you next week as well. Maybe we'll have